Watch us on YouTube.
Listen on your favourite podcast platform.
Or ask your smart speaker
To play the podcast Leicester Till I Die.
Subscribe, like, follow, and join in now.
Start with Chris, add a dash of sport, squeeze in some music, then shake, don't stir. And you've got the ultimate blend, LTID, with your host, Chris.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day, goodbye. How the devil are you? Welcome along to the Watchalong that wasn't going to be the Watchalong. But then we went and appointed a new manager till the end of the season, and along came Shaky and along came John. Gotta say, do like John's chocolate oranges. Starting a bit early tonight because we didn't cover it the other day, but I think it's worth having a look at Dean Smith's first press conference. I think we should. This is the Watch Along. This is Leicester Till I Die TV. We are live now on Facebook, YouTube and Twitter. And we will also be available on your local podcast, your favourite podcast platform, and, of course, via your smart speakers as well. And, of course, whatever social you want to find us on, there we are. We're on every single one of them. I just spread myself around too easy. Just call me Margarine. Anyway, let's have a look at this press conference, and then Brad's coming in pre, during, and after, and we will have a look at the team news and everything else. The turkey's back, but here we go. This was what Dean had to say the other day. We're going to press play. Hey, here we go.
With 8 games to go, Dean, what made you and your team decide to take this job on?
I think the main reason that I took the job on was because Craig and JT wanted to come with me as well. I looked at the squad, I looked at the fixtures, and I felt that there were games there to be won. There were points there to grab where we can actually climb out of the bottom 3. I think it's probably a season that I've not seen before in the Premier League, where 9 teams have all been involved at one stage in the relegation side of the league. And I feel the more that we can keep in that as well, I feel it's certainly not insurmountable to getting out of the trouble that we're in.
And to get out of the trouble, you mentioned earlier this week, rebuilding the confidence of the team, getting more belief in the squad. How have you gone about that this week?
Well, we can't get away from, I think, we've lost 7 out of the last 8 games. So confidence is not going to be high. I watched the Bournemouth game and if I was 80-20 for taking the job then, I probably went down to 50-50. But I know the players. I've come across the players before and we've played against them. And we know it just needed a lift. And I felt with the 3 of us coming in, I was confident that we could give them a lift. And the first 3 days we've had with them has been, we've seen great attitudes, great quality, great enthusiasm. And we're trying to put some smiles on the faces, which is tough given the situation we're in. But I've always been a big believer that if players go out and train with a smile on the face and play with a smile on the face, they can lift their confidence very quickly.
You have experience in relegation fight with Aston Villa. I wonder, are there any comparisons you can take from that side to the Leicester side you take on now?
I think there's certainly comparisons of being in that situation before, of not setting targets, apart from the one that come the last game of the season, we want to be, not in the bottom 3, but taking it literally one game at a time and assess after each game. We did that when we was at Villa. Craig's also been through the experience here at Leicester, which was a big thing for me. I think everybody knows, his relationship with his football club. So he believed that we could do it as well. So his experience will come in really helpful as well. But me and JT were at Villa at the time as well.
Is there any comparisons as well, just looking at that team with Jack Grealish and perhaps James Maddison, around how you maximise getting the most out of them when you attack? So again, I read earlier in the week, you want to kind of transition a bit quicker in the offensive phase.
Yeah, I did wonder how quickly we'd get to this James Maddison and Jack Grealish. But yeah, we looking the way we've played so far, we do need to transition a little bit quicker than we have been. James is an excellent footballer and, held his hands up last week after the mistake. But, first thing I said to him is, one, why are you coming so deep to get the ball? Number two, why are we giving it you when you haven't got a pass on? Yes, but it is a mistake. And he will learn from that and he'll get better from that. But he is a player, I think he's second top goal scorer this season for us, who can be a big player for us. And our job is to get him into the areas of the pitch where he can hurt the opposition, which is, similar to what we did with Jack as well.
And just finally from you, Dean, when you took the job on and you spoke to the club, were there any conversations around taking the job on after this season? Is that something you want to do?
It's not a conversation we've had. I think ultimately it's an interim job and, it's 8 games, 7 weeks. Last week I was watching the Masters on Tuesday and Wednesday and in Augusta and, now I've been back to England, very windy, but looking forward to the challenge now.
Thank you very much.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay, Naz.
Welcome back, Dean.
Thank you.
Going on from that, watching the Masters to preparing to face arguably one of the best teams in the world, how do you go there and impose your game on them and stop them?
Well, I've watched an awful lot of very good teams try and impose their game onto Manchester City and come unstuck. But what we have to do is go with a game plan and stick to that game plan, stay in the game for as long as we can. And we've also seen teams like Brentford go there and get results. So, yes, they're one of the strongest teams, in the Premier League, if not the world. But we have to have that belief in ourselves that we can go there and get a result.
And in terms of the challenges ahead, it's been well documented, some of the defensive frailties. How important was it for you as a defender and having John Terry in your coaching team? How much has he sort of instilled a little bit more belief in those in the defensive line and the defensive unit?
I think straight away by bringing somebody like JT who helped, shore up shore up defence at Aston Villa when we worked together there. I think, the first season Emi Martinez come, I think he equalled the clean sheet record at Aston Villa in the Premier League. And that's with the help of the details that JT, myself and Craig can give them. So yes, we've got, I think, 6 centre-backs here at the football club. We've got some, obviously Johnny Evans coming back from injury. Some players haven't played as many minutes as probably we would have liked so far. But we've got real good players who we can work with and are trying to work with now.
And in terms of if you were to keep Leicester in the Premier League, where would it rank in your own sort of personal achievements? Because you've had promotions, the Villa situation, Brentford. Would this be right up there with, one of your greatest achievements, keeping Leicester in the league at this stage?
I think I will tell you that come the end of the season, if and when we've kept them up there.
And obviously, the opportunity came around. You mentioned it earlier. How is it the strangest of relegation fights with so many teams involved in it? Is it the strangest one you've sort of experienced yourself? Because we've not seen a situation like this where 7 or 8 could go down. Yeah,
I think it is as strange as it's been in the Premier League to have so many teams involved in and so few points between everyone as well. So it's a real interesting period. And, the games we have after Man City will be really interesting, but we have to focus first and foremost on Manchester City and hopefully get a really good performance from the players, get a big lift and hopefully get some points.
Best of luck for the weekend and going forward.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
We'll go to Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Are you surprised by where Leicester are on the table right now?
Yes, I am. One of my first points of action, we've got a leadership group at the football club, was to speak to them. I think it was Monday evening. have a meeting with them and, just get their thoughts on why they think we are where we are, and, what they think, we can actually do to get out of it. We've got our ideas and we'll put demands on both our staff and players, and give leadership, give guidance, but ultimately players make decisions on the pitch.
You obviously had some good times with Brentford and Villa, not such good times maybe with Norwich, obviously leaving them in the Championship. Speaking to maybe some of the more sceptical fans about your suitability to get Leicester out of this position, what would you say to them?
In terms of my suitability for the job, listen, I think tomorrow might be my 600th game as a manager, coming up through from Walsall in League One to Brentford in the Championship, Aston Villa, Norwich in the Premier League. So we've certainly got the experience. Craig Shakespeare alongside me. And this is why I say, as a three, I think it's a strong three coming in, all with different qualities. All three of us have been through relegation battles in the Premier League and come through it. So I think that experience will certainly hold us in good stead.
There's been a perception, certainly over the last few weeks, when Brendan was speaking about performances and results and even players as well, that things will be fine if we keep doing what we're doing at the football club. Now, you've addressed some of the issues that players maybe have spoken about. Do you sense any complacency here amongst the players at the club about where you are in the table and how to get out of it?
No, from the first day I came in, from the first time I spoke to the players on the evening, or the leadership group on the evening, to the moment we've come in, been really, really impressed with the enthusiasm, the attitude, really impressed with the quality as well. Unfortunately, we've got a couple of players missing at the moment, in some key areas. Harvey Barnes, which, got injured in the last game, will be out for certainly on Saturday, hopefully touch and go for next Saturday. But, the quality that they've shown has really impressed all of us, to be honest. So we've been happy with what we've seen so far, and we feel there's enough there.
Final one from me. We know how good Yuri Tielemans can be on his day, the quality shown at this club since joining a few years ago. Firstly, is he fit for this weekend? Is he going to be fit in the foreseeable future? And what kind of role can he have over the coming weeks?
He's available for selection. He hasn't done a lot of minutes in training, so we'll have to assess whether he's ready to start or to come on a sub. But he's a big part. I look at the likes of him, the likes of Johnny, and I think they give the team calmness. They give them experience, but they give them quality as well. So they're going to be very important.
Thanks. Very best of luck this week.
Cheers. Thank you.
Hi, Dean.
Hi, you okay?
Nice to meet you. I know you mentioned Harvey Barnes and Yuri there. Have you got any other fresh concerns ahead of the game this weekend?
Yeah, Ricky felt his hamstring after the game last week as well. His looks a little bit worse than Harvey's, so I think he's going to be out for a few weeks, whereas Harvey's in an area of the hamstring that you're a little bit less concerned about. So yeah, which takes away a little bit of our wider options, to be honest.
You've had your first few days at the club now. What's it been like coming into this kind of environment and being in and around the club on a personal level for you?
Oh, listen, you can't help but be excited when you see this training centre. Fantastic facilities here, fantastic training ground, and you can see the ambitions are elite level. If you get John Terry saying, "Oh wow," then you're doing something right. I've done well to get him off the golf course, but then we turn up and there's a golf course here, so he'll probably have his clubs in the back now. But it's a great club. We've seen what this club can do and have done over years. What I've experienced so far, just meeting, the staff, the owners, has been really refreshing. Real humility I've seen amongst everybody, but a real need to help us and be there for us if we need them, because at the end of the day, we want to be a success together, and the only way we can is by working together.
You said that this isn't a insurmountable challenge and that Leicester City do have the qualities to stay in the Premier League. I wonder, from coming in and seeing inside the walls rather from outside of it, what the key aspects you've seen that show that is the case.
Well, I think just looking back to the Bournemouth game, what I saw on the pitch was players without confidence and players who looked a little bit lethargic. And to get that out of them, we've tried to make, training a little bit more fun, but a little bit more intense, a little bit more, frantic. And we've done that, and I feel we've had a response. Yesterday was more of a tactical day. Today will be a tactical day as well. But the buy-in from the players has been good so far. So, hopefully, we can continue that. Because, as I said before, time is not our friend at the moment. 8 games, 7 weeks.
As first games go, it's quite a task heading to the Etihad Stadium. What do you want to see from your players in terms of the core principles that make up a Dean Smith side?
Focus, concentration, energy levels, commitment, everything that you would like to see. Connectivity between the players and throughout the team. As we said, when we came in here, it's a clean slate for everyone. We're fresh eyes on the players. And we've liked what we've seen so far. But, come tomorrow, we're playing against one of the best, and we have to have all them components to go and get a result.
Dean, thank you very much. Best of luck tomorrow.
Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the Leicester Till I Die Watch-Along Show. Join in the chat and don't forget to subscribe.
I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
And I'll try turning my microphone on, then you can hear me. I smell a lack of bullshit. I mean, wow. It was so refreshing. Look, that's the lineup. That is the lineup that we have. There's different versions of this. I think we can tell it's 3 at the back in Soyuncu, Sutar and Faze. And then you've got the 2 wing-backs in Castagna and Christensen. Dewsbury Hall and Tielemans, either side, I believe, of Ndidi, who gets the nod over Mendy. And then Maddison, hopefully, I think he'll be just behind Vardy. Lena, if you're in, no, we weren't going to be doing a show, but look, we've got a new manager in. We've had to do a show. We can't not do a show. Bloody hell, it's all going on at Spurs. It was 2-1 last time I left it, and now it's 3-2 to Bournemouth. Spurs, you let everybody down. You're like a fart in the lift. You're wrong on so many levels. Do we like the team? I do. As you know, I've not been Tielemans' biggest fan. I really, really haven't. Let's see if Dean can maybe get him playing a bit more. Like Dean Smith said, it's a clean sheet. Let's just give everybody a clean sheet, even as fans and all the players, and say, look, go out now and show what you can do. Totally. Results not gone too much our way, if I'm being honest with you. Although Villa Newcastle, I was a surprise, 3-0 to Villa. All scored in the second half, I believe. I could be wrong there though. Chelsea 1, Brighton 2. 3 points for me. Brad's not here at the moment, but I've got to say to him,
I know, it's so difficult not to look smug at this point.
the the only 3 points of the day. We all went for a Palace win over Southampton, and they duly supplied us with a 2-0. Bournemouth and Spurs is still going on, and Wolves and Brentford, Wolves beat Brentford 2-0. So some shocks in there. It's full time. Bournemouth have beaten Spurs 3-2. Oof. I have a feeling there's going to be a few Spurs fans that aren't going to be very happy there with that performance. All I can say to the Spurs team as a whole...
Congratulations, you just crossed the line into completely useless.
Yes, they have. Cags is back. Seeing him on the screen now, what do we think? What are your predictions? Get them in. Got some good news coming up about the predictions. We've got a new thing coming next season, so stay tuned for that. Just a couple of things to let you know that are going to be changing. We are no longer doing a post-match show straight afterward. Well, say straight afterwards, about an hour afterwards. Basically, it takes over the whole night, and if it's an away game, people are travelling home. If it's a home game, people are getting home having the tea. So we've decided that Monday nights at 9, the debate show is going to be moving to Wednesday, probably every 2 out of every 3 weeks, because there'll be some new quizzes coming along as well. But Monday at 9, and Steve Lynex is joining us on the post-match as well. And of course, if you missed it last night, get over to LTID TV, Leicester Till I Die, on YouTube and check it out. Jim Melrose was with us at Leicester. He was here for that famous FA Cup quarter-final win over Shrewsbury. In fact, he got 2 goals in that match. Join us. Lovely, lovely guy. Really appreciate all these players coming on as they do and giving up their time. But check that one out if you are, like me, from that era. But look, here are the predictions that we have gone for. Nobody is feeling particularly hopeful. And when I look at the Manchester City team, De Bruyne, Haaland both starting. The reason I wasn't going to do a watch along, but like I say, look, we've got a we've got it. Let's do it. Let's go for it. Brad is just having a poo at the moment, just in time for doing the pre-match. Good planning that, Brad. So let's have a look. Brad has gone 3-2. I've gone 2-1. These are all to Man City. Craig's gone 2-0. Jerry's gone 2-0. Jerry Taggart. And I owe Jerry a big apology. I was chasing him up and realised... I've sent you the link. It's right at the start of today's conversations, Brad. It's just before the Soyuncu comment. Don't know what he's been doing on that toilet. I daren't ask. Cherry Taggart, I do owe an apology. Chasing him up, saying, where the hell is the quote? And I hadn't sent it to him to do. Ian Marshall's gone 4-0. Wow. Ian Wilson's 3-0. Steve Lynex has gone 1-1. I'll definitely have some of what he's having. And Steve Walsh has gone 4-0. To be honest with you, I hope either myself or Brad are correct, because we'll only have lost by 1 goal then. And if that's the case, then our goal difference is still intact. So fingers crossed for that. Look, let's have, for what it's worth, these are the guy that's out in the middle. It's Darren, can't remember his first name, and Darren England. And VAR is Gerard Gillay. Very posh. Gerard Gillay. Look, it's going to be tough against Manchester City, but let's get a few of your quotes in. Gray is going for a Man City 2-1, and he hopes it's a Man City 2-1 because, of course, if Leicester were to win, he's got to go down his pub naked, down his local naked. Let's have a look. Scott's in. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, good day, Scott. You have gone 2-1 Leicester. Ooh, Gray's going, please not. Let's have a look if anybody else has got the scores. No, so do get your predictions in. He's here. I'm not sure if his camera's working, but he is here. Let's say hello. And let me just have a play around with all my little bits here, because I know I don't normally play around with my bits on camera, but there we go. Brad, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, and I actually feel stupidly optimistic today after everything that's gone on with King Power in recent days. I don't know why, but something's giving me optimism about this lineup, especially if it's lining up the way the BBC have put it. I mean, I'm happy with both formations, but I thought a 3-4-2-1, it's what we've all been looking at, Chris. Me and you spoke about it for weeks. We don't need to go two in that midfield instead of just leaving Madders on his own.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't think formations are worth the paper they're written on anymore.
No, it's all about the style of play, isn't it?
It is, because it has to be fluid. It has to change. It's strange that we see Soyuncu back, isn't it?
Yeah, but the press conference gave you a little bit of hope into that, because they just said it's a clean slate, basically saying whatever you had problems with this club beforehand, it doesn't matter now. I'm going to pick you on you. I don't care what problems you have with the club or the ex-manager. I'm your manager now, sort of thing. So it's good. It's refreshing. I mean, I actually enjoyed watching the training ground video, Chris, for fuck's sake, the season.
You were very positive when you were telling me about it.
Yeah, I mean, he said, I know obviously they're going to, he said all the right things, but even in his press conference today, he alerted that, well, it got uploaded on the Leicester website today. I know it was yesterday, but there was one thing that he did actually alert to that was probably the only talking point, which is why we didn't ultimately decide to review it. But he'd said he'd even spoke to Maddison about why were you being asked to play so deep, and also why were you getting the ball when you're either marked or no options for you. So it just gives you the idea that he's clearly changing something today.
Well, it gives you the idea that he knows what he's talking about, if I'm honest with you.
Well, mate, if me and you can sit here and people in the comments can go, Madders is too deep, Madders needs to be playing more front, and then the manager's doing a worrying job if someone can come in within a day and go, yeah, why are you here? Because you need to be there.
Yes.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is a total and utter, that's what I'm looking for. There's 30,000 people every week could see what was going wrong with that team, except one person who used to applaud at the side of the pitch so because somebody would throw him a fish for his dinner. And I just think, like, at last we're maybe seeing some common sense. I mean, I've said there, as you know, I haven't been a Tielemans fan this year. And I accept a lot of that is he's been asked to play a defensive role, which is stupid when you're asking a player. If he was playing that role that he's been asked to play this season under Buck Rogers, if he'd been doing that in the FA Cup, he wouldn't have got that goal.
No, he wouldn't have. I mean, he's a natural number 8. He's your creator, isn't he? He's your go-to. He's your driving force. He is to Maddison what Matty James was to Danny Drinkwater in a sense, and maybe vice versa. No, I would say Matty James was your number 8, and your Drinkwater was more your push forward one out of the two of them. It reminds me of them when they click and get together. You need them working in their operative positions.
Yes.
So we're seeing that today as well, hopefully.
Square pegs, square holes. That's all you can ask for, Ian Holloway didn't do that. Look where we ended up. I am optimistic. I mean, results haven't particularly gone right for anybody today.
Everton losing was a nice one.
Yes, it was. I must admit, Chelsea losing was even nicer because somebody out the three of us predicted it right.
2-1.
I know, it's so difficult not to look smug at this point.
Yes, I've done the tally, and right, I'm going to call this out now. I am making the challenge of fraud on this channel. allegedly fraud. I'll get my lawyers involved. But Jeff in the Philippines, I seriously doubt that you have 197 points because currently in this week's score, you are doing a Chris. You have 0, my friend. I'm calling fraud. I'm taking it to the Leicester Till I Die TV courtroom, Jeff.
VAR.
Yeah.
Can I just say that this week so far, in fairness, Steve has got 3 points. Brad, well, you're having a go at Jeff for getting 0. You're not that far ahead of him. You've got 1.
I've got 2. Have I? I don't know. We'll find out at the end. We know we always do our research afterwards.
Because you went Newcastle. Oh no, you have got 2. You have got 2, and I have got 4. So
yes, I've got it that Steve's got Wolves, Bournemouth. Did you get a point for Palace as well?
Yeah, he got a point for Wolves, a point for Bournemouth, and a point for Palace.
And he got a point for Chelsea because he went 1-0 Brighton.
Oh, he did. He did. Oh, he's wiping the floor with us, guy. You should.
I know. Steve's on this comeback. I'm actually a little.
He is. He's a bit worried. He's been talking to Dean Smith. But look.
Anyway, the real talk.
The real talk. Told you, bro, is in. Hiya, how are you? I mean, Man City, Mahrez starts, Haaland starts, De Bruyne starts. There's nothing to worry about, is there? We've got the guy with the big appendage at the back.
Yeah, it's all right. Kate and his massive member will deal with Mahrez.
Right. But you mark 1 there, you got the other 2 to worry about, haven't you?
Well, yeah, but Harry Souttar's is obviously having a nap, so he's playing.
Yes, he obviously he's had a stay over at Premier Inn somewhere. 4 minutes to go, guys. Just 4.5 minutes to go. Why isn't it sharing that? Because
I'm going to be really sad if this ends up being like a 3-0 game now. Because I've got myself really optimistic about all the changes, and I'm still like, no, we're going to lose, but if we lose and play well, it's a start. So
yeah, let's not get too optimistic and get my teeth out. Then the Blue Leeds are still kind of in it. Oh, they're definitely in it. West Ham cyber leader is in. Good evening, been a while, sir. 1-1 away from home, quarter-final European Cup. You've got to be happy. And 1-0, not exactly 2 brilliant games, but 6 points, and that's all you can ask for. Luke is in. He's probably pulling his pants as we speak. Good evening, Luke. How are you? This is how it's looking at the moment. Which it doesn't look good, does it? I've got to say.
No, and at one time we don't need Spurs to be Spursy. I mean, that wouldn't have been actually a bad weekend of football, would it? Really, if you look at the results. I know Wolves won, but Bournemouth seem to be skimping the way to safety at the moment because they're getting the wrong results.
Yeah. I mean, I'd normally look at this and go, well, you know what? If we get 3 points, we're going to be up to 17th, but we're not, are we? But look, it is the performance. I did say I'm not going to go mad because it is almost like a free hit. The players are coming out onto the pitch now. But like I say, I've not been Tielemans' favourite, but look, clean slate. If Dean Smith plays to his strengths, now there's an idea you should try, Mr. Bellend. Then playing plays to the strengths. Maybe that wasn't in the coaching manual. The coaching football for dummies.
Clearly not.
Clearly not. But look, it's worrying. But they were saying that. They brought up, because of course the teams that we've got to play for the rest of the season, we've already played once. So they brought that up, Dean Smith's applauding the away fans there. If we get the same results as we got earlier in the season, we'll get 12 points from our remaining games. And that would give us 37.
Yeah, see, I've said for a while 35 plus should keep us up, and if we do that, then that'll obviously put us in the bracket where I think we'll be safe. And that's the thing; it's such a contrast these last 5 days to everybody's mentality and thinking. Even the most optimistic Leicester fan, you could tell that people weren't quite that energetic about our chances of surviving. And it's like, well, okay, we look at the results. All right, Wolves were a little bit starting to pull away anyway for me, so I really wasn't too fussed that Wolves won today. I thought it was a shock because of Brentford, but it is by the by. It was the Everton, the Southampton, the Notts Forest.
Well, they're just showing Leicester. Let's just see how Sky have us lined up. 3 at the back. Yeah, they've got 3 at the back. Sutov, Soyuncu. 5 in midfield. Ndidi with Tielemans and Dewsbury on either side, and Christensen and Castagna on the wings. Then Maddison. So they've gone 3-5-1-1 and Vardy up front.
Yeah, I think the idea is you look at it as one broadcast channel will put it up as how we maybe line up off the ball, and I think one then goes, well, I want to be different, so I'll put them in attack when they've got the ball. And I think
they're now showing it as a 3-2-3-1-1, if you like. But look, at least then Maddison just behind Vardy's got that freedom. But they're about to kick off, so I'll let you go, mate.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I will speak to you at half time.
I will speak to you at half time. And remember, there's no post match today. And why is that? Because it's here at 9 o'clock on Monday instead. But we will be doing a post match discussion on the watch along, won't we?
Yes, we will. We wouldn't leave them hanging. It's like a trade. You get what's the word? A trailer teaser if you stay. It's like a Marvel ends credits. You got to wait around, but we'll give you some post-match feedback.
Exactly. Just stay on because something's going to come up at the end. Where have I heard that before? All right, mate. See you at half time.
See you at half time, buddy.
Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, so thanks to Brad. He will be back at half time and talking about the first half. So let us have a look. So we're just trying something different because after the match, you got people travelling home from the stadium. You got people that have gone home from the crowd, if it's a home ground game, going to the for tea and dinner and what have you. So we're just going to try something different. Jeff has gone 4-0 to Manchester. He's agreeing with Ian Marshall. Welcome along, Jeff. David is in. Vardy kept his place. Is that shaky? I thought it was shaky with Ndidi as well. But look, no, let's give it kicked off. We've kicked off. Let's give everybody a chance. It's a clean sheet. It's a clean sheet. I've not been too happy with Soyuncu, with Tielemans. But no, look, we're going to give everybody a clean sheet because they are playing, hopefully, round pegs, round holes. Manchester City are in their light blue tops, white shorts, light blue socks, kicking from left to right as we watch it. And the Leicester are in their away strip of black with the funny green neck and arms and looks like porno policeman look. But Manchester City coming on the far side. Didn't hold on to the ball. Bloody hell, nearly gave it away then. We're playing about with it at the back. Do not do that. Ooh, we're looking a bit nervous now. We are looking a bit nervous at the back there in the first minute. David's gone 3-2 to Man City. So you've agreed with Brad. We'll see how we're all doing as we go through. And at the moment, Manchester City come again. I've got to say fair play to... lovely touch there. Oh, then he falls over himself. Oh, what a shame. I was Tielemans there. He had a lovely play round the Man City player, and then literally he just fell over his own feet. And they've now got it on the near side, Man City coming forward. Blue, I love you, sir. You are a wonderful human being. I've always said that. You just want to hear a grown man cry, don't you? But thank you very much, Blue. Thank you very much. Do-do-do-do. And Gray has his sing song. Oh, Soyuncu stuck a foot out there, and it's come out now, middle of our own half. At the moment, we've got a back five. Soyuncu again. That's twice. Ooh, Dewsbury Hall. We are looking nervous at the back at the start. I'm not going to lie. No, Blue. We have to predict early because we do a prediction show, so we have to do that. All Manchester City at the moment. They're basically, in fairness to Manchester City, they've gone full strength. BBC say you can see early on that the 5-4-1 is a setup for Leicester when they haven't got the ball, and that's probably I don't blame them, to be honest with you. I think if we had 8 at the back, we'd still struggle against Manchester City. So it was James Maddison that lost his footing. I need to get a bigger screen. I've got massive tellies in all my other rooms, and in here, because it's just on the table in front of me, I've got this little screen. That's 3 minutes gone. Remember, please, gentlemen, no spoilers until I have sort of read it out. Even if it's on the screen, if I haven't seen it because I'm not looking at the screen and I'm looking at the telly, wait until I read it out, or shout it out, I should say. Oh, no. Oh! Mahrez gets a corner. Dewsbury Hall gets a foot to it. Nobody was picking him up on this side. 2 Manchester City players clear on the near side. It's the one shirt I've not bought in about 4 seasons. I've only bought the 2 shirts this season. Good header out from Soyuncu. Well, I'm saying Soyuncu. It could be Faze. Who knows? Let's hope they get... Oh, it's a goal! Oh my God! 4 minutes in, and I think it's Stones. Four minutes in, and we're 1-0 down already. Oh, for God's sake! From the corner. Soyuncu or Faye's got his head... Oh, wait a minute. They're looking at a possible offside. I don't think he was interfering with play. I think it's going to count. He let it rip, Stones, I've got to say. On my 2-1 still on. Yeah, 1-0 after 5 minutes. This could get embarrassing. Welcome to Leicester City, Dean Smith. We didn't clear it. That was our problem. We have been messing about at the back. We just didn't clear it. It hasn't been a good start by Leicester at all. And they come again on the halfway line. a hard job has just been made 100 times harder. It won't great, in fairness, but we have to watch our goal difference. I mean, at the moment, our goal difference is it's minus 13 now. Leeds is minus 15, and it could come down to that. It could come down to that. Manchester City attacking down the near side. I think Manchester City have got it dead right here, because really they've come at us from the get-go, and they've looked at it and said, look, let's just put this to bed early on, get a couple of early goals, and then, we can just almost, treat it like a training match almost. We've hardly got out of our own half, if at all. They are just toying with us. Penalty? I'm not sure. Is that a penalty that's just been given? Grealish is asking for it. Oh, it was outside the area. Faze comes in, but I think it was just outside. We may have just got away with one there. Grealish went down theatrically, as you would expect him to. But it can't be a penalty. It literally, if there's a corner, Everson comes, but he drops it. Oh, there's ping pong in there. It is absolute ping pong. This is just like Crystal Palace. Indeed, Gray. Indeed, Mr. Socks. I'd forgotten that. 90. No, it's 2-0. No, it's not. What is it now? Is this the penalty now? I looked away for 1 minute. Oh, they're calling for handball. Yeah, oh God, indeedy. Indeedy, you fucking wanker. I don't believe it. I mean, what is it with fucking Indeedy and giving away penalties? Oh, he's going to look at the screen, which means it's a penalty. Indeedy, you're fucking useless. I can't see how it can not be given. I mean, I don't understand this year that the rules are all different things, but I think he's going to give that. His hand was up. I'm not sure what he's done. I think he's given the penalty, has he? Dean Smith's looking perplexed. I'm guessing it's a penalty. Yeah, he's given a penalty. Indeedy. Oh, Haaland's going to take it. Oh, we've got no worries here. Why is Indeedy on the pitch? Yeah, 2-0. "12 minutes gone, 2-0. Get Indeedy's arse off this pitch." The thing is, though, David, is that we play like this if we lose, which obviously we're going to. We're playing Manchester City, who are probably one of the favourites to win the Champions League this season. Rodgers could not get us to beat Southampton, who are bottom of the league. Twice they beat us. So you can't judge on 12 minutes whether it shouldn't have been Brendan to blame. Yet Brendan Bellend should be blamed for everything that he did at this club. He's ruined this club. He's put us in this position. We would not be where we are now if it wasn't for Brendan Bellend. So don't come in here defending Brendan. The guy was the biggest wanker going. And let's be honest with you, yes, he won us the FA Cup, but that was thanks to a VAR and a toenail. You know, Dean Smith's got to try and... He can't just change something in 4 days. The first goal, stoned. Lovely goal. Lovely goal. Second one, Indeedy. I don't think... Somebody tell me if a player in the last few seasons has given away more penalties than Indeedy for Leicester. Yeah, none of us have predicted... Well, a couple of us of you have predicted a Leicester win, but I didn't expect us to win. What I'm mad at is Indeedy. I know, I've been saying this is almost like a free hit, but 2-0 down with 15 minutes gone, this could see our goal difference blown out the window. And we could now have 75 minutes of Manchester City just knocking it about. Love it, mate. Love it. Yes. Do love it. Do love it. I agree with you. He's been terrible, but he was terrible when Brendan was here. I'm sorry. I'm not putting anybody blame for this for the players other than Brendan. I know her, but you're quite right. Is it Luke? Sorry, I can never remember your proper name. Let's just blow the final whistle now, shall we? I don't like it, to be honest with you, Thunder. If it's like this against Wolves, I mean, Wolves are looking good. Wolves won today. And if you watch any of my videos, I did a video on the amount of blame that Kuhn Top has to take for where we are as a team. And he has to take some. Dewsbury Hall, he's pushed off too easily. He'd made a good tackle. He'd kept the ball well, then he was pushed off too easy. Leicester got it back, though. No, they haven't. No, they haven't. It's back with Manchester City. Flayed out to the far side. Leon, Brendan Rodgers is like Benidorm. Fucking shite. Manchester City come forward again. Free kick given away by Tielemans. Arsenal, remember, Arsenal aren't just here making the numbers up. Arsenal are here fighting to defend their title. You know, and Manchester City are no Tottenham. You know, I respect your opinion, David. I really do, but I just think that Indeed is to blame. Let's be honest with you. A player of his, well, he's an international player, isn't he? He should not be. He should know what to do with his hands. The Saudi Arabian team, if they do that, they get their hands chopped off. Soyuncu, what a run forward to Christensen. Crosses the ball in. Dewsbury Hall, we got a chance. We shoot. Oh, that was on target, but it hit a Manchester City player. What a brilliant move from Leicester. We've still got it back on the halfway line. FaZe goes back Sutar. I tell you what, that was Soyuncu. Brilliant run down the left side, powering down. Played it to Christensen, who got a lovely cross in. That was just a reminder to Manchester City, we are still here. Side netting there from Vardy, but he was offside anyway. Yeah, we do. We need wins. We need wins. That's just a reminder to Man City. Hello, we are here. It was yes. You see, to me, that's what we miss. And unfortunately, I think he will go in the summer. Because of the way he's been treated. But, you know, it reminded me so much of Harry Maguire. Yeah, when he had, whatever you say about Harry Maguire, he got the ball as a defender and he ran with it. If there was space, he ran with it and took the ball forward. Emporium, good evening. How are you? Welcome along, sir. New to the channel, Give a like to the video, and please subscribe if you are. But yes, I love Soyuncu as well. I really do. Chris, I know. But look, again, Soyuncu there, just doing the basics, getting it, putting it out for throwing. Yeah, Luke, I agree with you. I wish he was a starter. He should be. Look, if changes hadn't been made, I don't know. You've got to say we wanted changes. Look, we are playing one of the best teams in Europe here. We are not playing Southampton. And that's what we've got to remember. We are remembering. I mean, bloody hell, Erling Haaland has scored 46 goals this season in all competitions. John, I think you're right. I like the cut of his jib as well. And look, like you say, this game, what Man City did, Man City came at us from the start. They said, we want to kill Leicester off. It will ruin it'll really damage the confidence. And they need to win, because if they don't get 3 points, they're not handing the title to Arsenal. But, Arsenal have got yet to play this season, this weekend. We've got to remember, Man City need the 3 points here. Oh, I hope not, Chris. I hope not. Soyuncu with it down the near side. Chips it forward into the Man City area. Christensen heads it down to Vardy. Vardy plays it off to Dewsbury Hall. Dewsbury Hall cuts back inside, plays it across to Ndidi, but it was too short for Ndidi, and Ndidi lost it there, and for once it wasn't his fault, and Haaland's through, and it's 3. And it's 3. And I'm afraid that was Dewsbury Hall. And I've got to be honest with you, no defence is going to stop that. There's Haaland when he's in full swing. Cut through the defence, tipped it over Iverson, who came out. But Dewsbury Hall, he's got to take the blame for that. I think we do expect more of them, but not necessarily against Manchester City. Emporium, no, I'm sorry. It was such a bad pass that it went. We were attacking, and KDH should be 47 goals Haaland scored this season. Dewsbury Hall should be able to, at this level, be able to judge how far to kick a ball. But Brad, like I say, it wasn't indeed. That was Dewsbury Hall playing me into trouble. If you're waiting for the ball to come to you and it's played short, what can you do? Great. Oh, KDH again. Plays it behind the player. KDH is rubbish. I disagree, Ray. I disagree. How can you play Ndidi for that first goal? How can you play Ndidi for the first goal? Second goal, yes, handball, totally Ndidi's fault. Third one was Kieran Dewsbury Hall's fault, not Ndidi's. Yeah, Luke, it is. I mean, hopefully, I tell you what, hopefully they were looking at this and going, well, we can't play him again. Yep. No, we thought we'd give him a chance. We can't play him again. I don't think he should. I think you're asking a lot of him to win that. Clear it, Leicester, for God's sake. All players do that now, Ray. We wouldn't have won the FA Cup if players didn't do that. No. Let's just calm things down here. We are playing the current Premier League champions. They are currently second. They are spitting difference of a Champions League semi-final. Did we really expect, looking at these predictions, those of you that went for a Leicester win, I think were sort of joking it more in hope than anything. We have got, bar two, everybody's gone for Man City win. But Jeff, again, is he being played in a different role? It's a different team. Doesn't necessarily mean that he'd have still been scoring for us if he'd been here. Having said that, he may have been under Dean Smith, but we have to put everything into perspective. You see, Maddison again is way back, having to come back for the ball. Yeah, I would. I wouldn't have started him, Ray. So I agree with you there. And KDH get Pratt on. Chris has just said, not me, on the BBC. As a Saints fan, how nice it would be to see Leicester concede 10. Tell you what, Chris, who knows? Again, Kieran Dewsbury Hall fails to get the ball into the box. And it's a Leicester corner. Half an hour gone. Yeah, we've got a manager that shows emotion. Do you remember what that's like? It was a short corner. It's with Soyuncu. It's now back in the centre circle. Oh, long ball across to the far side. Cut out by the Manchester City player. And another corner gone to waste. I think we need to see a performance, Dave. Definitely, we want to see a performance. But this is like a pre-season almost for Smith. He's got to say it's just a free hit. He's had four days. John Terry will be looking at this as well as the defensive coach. Oh, that's a free kick right in front of the referee. Grealish, you dirty little socks man. on Maddison. You're trying to injure him so he doesn't get picked for England. Erling Haaland is on 32, equal with Salah on top scorers in one season. Alan Shearer and Andy Cole both had 34 in the 93-4 and the 94-5 season in the Premier League alone. He's a goal machine, isn't he? I think what he hoped to do, Emporium, is give that role, a backup role to Maddison to try and, help him help Vardy, get him to help Vardy. Sorry. And everything that we're pumping forward at the moment, they're just totally dealing with. Been 8 minutes without a goal though, so fingers crossed, guys. You watch, they'll score now. You know what I love about this game? I'm on 33. The graphic is virtually on the same as me. So that's where we're on at the moment, Ashley. Vardy now. What can Vardy do? He's held on to it. Dewsbury Hall. Somebody have a shot. Maddison. Oh, it's come off a defender. Still got it, Leicester. And it's a goal kick. I love the fact, you see, what I love about football, people have been saying Mendy should be on, and then somebody comes on and says, Mendy's worse than Ndidi. It's all about opinions, football. It's all about opinions. No opinion is right and no opinion is wrong. Mine's not right. It's just what I say. It is my channel, so I get the voice. David's opinion is just as valid and just as right as mine. And whether you're a Mendy or an Ndidi fan, like I say, all opinions are to be respected. But at the moment, we've had a couple of attacks, so I'm not going to knock it. It was just a very, very poor start. Just trying to find the stats. It's not showing me stats. Everybody's saying 10 or 11 to Man City. An Arsenal fan here saying game over after 15 minutes, Man City ruthless. As an Arsenal fan, I'm accepting the inevitable, but runners up is an achievement to this juggernaut. This is who we're up against. We are grey. We're looking good. Blue Fox. Oh, they score now. I'll blame you for jinxing it. Good defending there. Everson got taken the ball. Faze wanted it quick, I think. Yeah, it would be nice to get one. I agree, Emporium. Faye's headed out there, but we still can't get it away. Castagna there does, but he falls over and it ends up again with Man City players. What am I drinking? Flavoured water. Nothing exciting. Although, am I? You can't tell. I'm just putting the stats up there for you as well. We come away now again with KDH. Oh, he was pushed off there, Mr. Ref. Yes, we've got a free kick. Got a free kick. Kyle Walker just pushed him away there. Tielemans, I think, is asking about a card. There's a good run, in fairness, from KDH, and he was definitely pushed. Definitely pushed. Kyle Walker. Forest beat Liverpool 1-0, didn't they? Anyway, it's a free kick to Manchester City. No, it's not. It's a free kick to Leicester City. It's confusing. Midway into their half. Chipped in there from Maddison. Comes down! Ooh! It fell to FaZe. Probably not the one that you want the ball to fall to there. It had a shot and it went over the goal. But look, we are back here. No, I'm saying we're in the game as such, but we are certainly we're certainly showing that we're not just here just to make the numbers up. McDonald's. We haven't even got a McDonald's here. It's shut down. I have to drive to get to McDonald's. There isn't one in town now. Man City got the ball on the far side. Passing it into the middle now. De Bruyne on this left or right hand side. Near side as we look at it. Played a 1-2. He's got it back. They do. I mean, when they break, they're impressive to watch. I mean, I know obviously I shouldn't be praising them, but as a neutral, you've got to look at this Man City side and go, "Oh my God, they just play amazing football." Reminds me very much of the Liverpool of the 70s and 80s. They're just taking the time. They're not panicking. I know they've got 3 goals up, so they don't have to. But even then, they're just passing it around. They get a throw in here. Soyuncu taking it off De Bruyne and kicking it out. Man City come again. Into the middle. Chipped into the box. Into the far side. Headed across. Oh, good header out there by Soyuncu. And high and wide by Manchester City. No, well, not wide, but certainly high by De Bruyne. I'm feeling more optimistic than I was feeling in the first 20 minutes. But that said, look, let's be honest. Man City, 4 minutes to go. Man City have got it in the bag, so they don't have to. They've probably gone down a gear, to be honest with you, because they can do. And like you say, you've got to say fair play to them. They are sending out a message here to Arsenal, as that Arsenal fan said on the BBC. They're a juggernaut. Unfortunately, we got in the way. Another through ball there, but he didn't get through. Haaland couldn't quite get to it. Ran through to Everson, to Christensen. Indeed, he back to Christensen on this near side. He needs people to run for him, so he passes it back to Soyuncu, across to Suter. And Everson kicks it upfield, gets it to the halfway line. It's headed away by a light blue player. Leicester know I've got it with Faze in his own half. Lovely passage of play that by Leicester. Some lovely passing still. Now then, lovely turn by Maddison. Finds Dewsbury Hall on this near side. Passes it out to Christensen down on the touchline. He brings it in back into Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Passes it into Tielemans. Tielemans, a bad ball there. No, it wasn't even close to Christensen. It's like, to be honest with you, it hasn't been a joke all season. It has been a joke because we've played like a joke. But do you know what? We have come back into it. We've got it on the near side, Man City. Chipped it into the box, into the far side. Oh, it was headed away. But, I mean, come on, referee. Yeah, it's a free kick. I think there might be a card being shown here. Madison was pulled down. Laporte, I think, has he been booked? He's saying, what, me? Yes, you. The guy that had your arms all over Madison. No. Thought that'd be a free kick to Man City, but I think he's played advantage. Oh, good tackle there. Soyuncu. Why hasn't Soyuncu been playing? Lovely ball into the middle. Oh no, Tielemans spent too long. He was ball watching there. He didn't get a shout from his teammates. It was taken off him. Manchester City have it again. That's the problem. We make mistakes and give the ball away. Manchester City very rarely do. They got it in the centre, coming forward. 5 back now for Leicester. Good tackle there. I think that was Castagna. Oh, Maddison there, brought down. This time it is a booking. First booking of the game goes to Manchester City. I think it's Laporte. Or is it Silva? Silva. I don't think that was a booking. I think the referee's just gone, look, this is about the 20th now, So yeah, it is. Bernardo Silva has got booked. And there is 2 minutes time to add on. 2 minutes injury time. And you know what that means, everybody? Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, it's good to have them back. If we'd played this last 20-odd minutes, the first 20-odd minutes, we'd be all right. Lovely ball there. Castagna ran for it, which was slightly too hard and went out to play for a Manchester City goal kick. So it looks like we're going up to half-time. Manchester City 3, Leicester City 0. And it'll be interesting to see what happens with substitutions. Because obviously we do know that Brendan did not like making substitutions at all. Almost like he was admitting he got it wrong. But we will see what Dean Smith does. I think substitutions do need to be made and do need to be made at half time. We're going to come out. There's no why if you're going to make a substitution, why leave it until the 60th minute or the 70th minute? Manchester City coming away with Grealish. on the far side, chipped into the box, headed clear by Soyuncu, who says, "Where is everybody?" He holds his hand out, and that's it. It's half time. Oh. So minuses for me, Ndidi, and also KDH. Positives for me, Soyuncu. Let's see what we're going to see from Dean Smith at half time. Don't forget, everybody, that the post-match we will now be on is going to be Monday at 9 o'clock is the new time for the post-match. Simply because, guys, and it's a night like this, everybody's got families. Certainly us presenters have got families. So... I just thought, look, let's give it a break. Monday nights at 9 o'clock, we can reflect a little bit more. It's not as instant, and that does mean that the debate show will be moving to Wednesdays and alternating with a brand new quiz that we're going to have coming very, very soon. It's a Leicester-based quiz, so if you are a Leicester fan and you think you know the club, put your name forward. It's the big fat Leicester quiz. There's going to be 5 or 6 sections, a couple of questions in each one, all about Leicester City. Yeah, great. I agree with you. We might be losing, but overall much better. I think that last 20 minutes, and you could argue that Man City maybe have taken the foot off the gas, but that last 20 minutes wasn't 3 bad. I don't think, but then what do I know? Hopefully Brad will be joining us in a minute. And look, this is what we want you to do. Do what the ex-Foxes do.
Hello, Matt Elliott here. Hi, Alan Smith here.
Hey guys, Ian Hume here.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here.
Be sure to watch
Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV
for all the latest Leicester City news and information.
You can also subscribe on YouTube and various social media channels for the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Come on, you foxes!
Indeed, and you know what? I haven't even updated the score. That's how annoyed I've been. Right, here we go. Let's update this a bit. Funny thing is, nobody else noticed either. So we're all as bad as each other. Going to say hello to Doug. How are you? Good evening, Doug. Snooker's back. I wish that score was true as well. And it was just all, it literally was 20 minutes of like, my God, what's happening? Yeah, try looking across the bottom, Anthony, and you'll be able to read. I do wish the old score was true, indeed. Look, I think, yeah, it looked better. It looked better. Yeah, all right, he took 3 goals, but look, Arsenal have got a game in hand on Manchester City. They're also 3 points ahead of them now. So if they win their game, I think is it something like they're going to be they're going to be what? Let's have a look. They're going to be 6 points ahead if they win this weekend. And who are they playing? Liverpool. So you've got to presume that Arsenal will win that. So Man City have got to make sure that they were going to win. And they came out and they went, right, we're going for this. We're going to go for this. And we're going to make sure that there's going to be no upset. There's going to be no new manager bounce or anything like that. And, okay, you can sit there and say, well, 3-0 Leicester in 20 minutes. How rubbish was that? We're playing the Premier League champions. They were that worried about us, and rightly or wrongly, that they played Mahrez, Haaland, and De Bruyne all from the start, knowing that they've got a Champions League game next week. Which, let's be honest, they're halfway. They've got 1 foot in the semi-finals, so we've got to sit and say, they've shown us respect, and you've got to appreciate them for that. We always, I was annoyed at the way the goals were conceded rather than actually conceding the goals. I went 2-1. I mean, taking it completely the way, Steve Walsh and Ian Marshall went 4-0. We're all going to be getting points this week on the X-Foxes League. But they said, right, 3-0. I think they've taken the foot off the gas possibly a little bit. But who knows? Who knows? Jake is in from, I'm assuming this is Jake from West Ham United Unofficial. We've got little Jake, we've got little Cox there, and we've got big Cox here. Take that in what you mean. Roger's out. Oh, God, yes. Yes, indeed. Mike, good evening. How are you, sir? Welcome along. But yeah, as I say, I've got to go back to Gray here and say, yes, we might be losing, but overall much better. I mean, they're just showing the goal now. 5 minutes, Stones. What a goal. I mean, we didn't clear it from the corner. The ball was chipped in. And then the second goal, it was a clear handball. I don't know why they made the referee walk over and look at it. It's indeed he's always got a penalty in front of him. Brad is in. We'll just wait for his camera to load up. And he is there. Little Cox and big Cox, indeed. And we need a middle Cox. What do I say? Let's bring the middle Cox in. Brad, how are you?
I don't know, mate. I really don't know how I am, to be honest with you, because if you could have asked Dean Smith to picture his worst first half nightmare, we've just seen it play out. We never got a chance to get going, did we, really?
No. As I was saying, though, do you not think Manchester City, this is a must-win game? They showed us total respect.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they played Mahrez, they played Haaland, they played De Bruyne, knowing they've got a Champions League second leg next week. So fair play to them, you know, for showing us that respect. They need to win this game because you presume Arsenal will probably either get a draw or win against Liverpool. So that's probably going to keep them sort of either 4 or 6 points clear of them. So they need to get a result here. That first 10 minutes, my God, they were coming at us. They said, we're going to nail this and get it over with.
Well, they did. They literally did, didn't they? Yeah. And the problem is, by the time Leicester were allowed to settle and actually do anything, they didn't really know what to do with it. Man City have just been Man City. They've dragged Leicester around, pillar to post, games nipped in the bud, nice and early. They can relax. They're allowed to play their football. I think 2 changes need to be happening at half time. Take Vardy off. Probably take off one of them centre midfielders. He's got to do something because now he decisions one or two things. The thing is, do you try and make sure it only stays at 3-0 and go, okay, yeah, that happens when you play Man City. They can score 3 goals, but if we can pose ourselves and play like we did in the second half, we'll be fine. Or do you go at it and hope for like another 6-3 bonanza sort of scoreline like we got a few years ago?
Earlier on the BBC chat, there was a Southampton fan going, this could be 10. It looked about, I'm going to be honest with you, at one point it did look, I'm not going to deny it, but look, there's players there that I think have cost us. It'll be interesting. It'll be really, really interesting to see. Anthony, can I just say, when a team is losing like this, it's not really the best time to come in and be making jokes about it. I'll just leave it there. We will see sort of when Dean Smith makes substitutions, because you need to make those substitutions now. You don't wait till the 60th minute, because those players, certain of them were shit. Goal number 1, failed to clear from a corner. It was Stones, all right, on his left foot, but my God, it was a good shot, wasn't it?
Yeah, and like I said, the worst possible start was a goal within the first 5 minutes. Leicester were wanting to contain that first 10 minutes, wait for an opportunity, and that opportunities not percentage. I mean, when they hit him like that and he goes in, there's nothing you can do. But the second one pisses me off, Chris. The second one pisses me off because of who it is and what he does and how many times he's done it. And I don't understand how he can't learn to keep his hands away from the football.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but he has to take full responsibility for it. It's not the first time he's done it. And just when you've suffered a blow, you don't need a kick in the teeth. And he might as well have.
He was totally to blame. He's done it so many times. James said, look, I'm going to reply to this. It's over. Why make changes? Because it's over. And we need to see what other players can bring. I mean, you know, we've lost the game. Now
you've got to try and take false positives in the way, haven't you?
We could win the second half 1-0.
Jock Wallace would get points for that.
Yeah, exactly. But what I mean is, you look at that and you think, right, I brought Mendy on instead of Ndidi, and yeah, we've played a lot better that way. So hopefully, we all said at the start this was a free hit for him. So let's not go too mad at him or the fact he's had 4 days. This is a free hit. Hopefully he sat there going, well, I'm not going to do that again. And shit, no, okay, that was a bad decision. So yes, that's why you make changes. In my opinion, anyway. Third goal. I mean, people are going mad at Ndidi, but I'm sorry, KDH, he dropped in, and like I say, I'm blaming him for the second goal, but the third goal, I blame KDH. I can't blame Ndidi for that. People were saying, well, he should have won the ball anyway. No, he shouldn't, because it was a bad ball to him.
It was a bad ball, but he still takes a little bit of responsibility because he did stand there, and you should anticipate not getting the ball. In fact, managers yell at you if you just go, well, it didn't come to me. It's like, well, if you know it's not coming to you, go to the ball. It's the one thing coaches insist on. They hate it. And that would have really annoyed Dean Smith, I hope. I hope he's annoyed. Yes, more to KDH for the bad pass, but indeed his reaction just was non-existent. And you're playing Man City, you know it's bad enough. But if you make a mistake like that, look what happened with Bournemouth. We made a mistake, didn't react. Nobody went to the bad ball. No one really reacted to it because they couldn't believe he made a bad pass. Maddison nicked and got the ball. You know, it's just it needs to be taken out of the team by one way or another. And if you can't do it with a positive attitude and a nice fun training session, then you start need to looking at the personnel and going, okay, yeah, I don't need that on the pitch because it's not working for us. So we'll see.
Yeah. Leicester for Life says Iverson gets the right way, but Haaland is just too good. And yeah, Anthony, we all love banter. I give it as much as I do, but there's got to be a time for it. And there's got to be a time that you don't go for it. At the end of the match, just use your brain, Anthony, and think like, how would you be feeling if it was the other way around? But yeah, so I'm sorry. Like I say, I agree, but then again, he shouldn't have been put in that position by KDH.
He shouldn't have.
It's a great move. It was a fantastic move, and that was the pass that broke it down, and they just broke away and scored again.
Yeah, because unfortunately, the passing when we seem to get into an opposition's half, it just crumbles because that left side struggled all sorts. Christensen struggled to get the ball to him. He struggled with making passes. You can tell exactly what Dean Smith and we've been talking about for weeks has alerted to, and it's just the lack of confidence, the belief to do something, the indecision, wait. What they're doing is they're moving and then they're thinking. They're not thinking and then moving, which is what he wants to quickly turn around and install into the players. But today's opponents just blow you away more times than not.
You could argue that once they're 3-0 up, then it's game done, and then why take stupid risks? And I reckon that Pep might make some changes with that Champions League match, at the back of his mind. But after that third goal went in, I thought we actually came back into it.
Yeah, and people might say, well, of course you did your 3-0 up, but Man City haven't relented. We've just actually slowly improved in the attacking area a little bit. We found a little bit of space. We found Madders a bit more forward, and it's the one thing that he obviously wanted to fix because he questioned why he was so deep.
Right, they're coming
So-
in Inacho's on the pitch.
Well, there you go. Half-time changes.
Vardy and Christensen is off, and
Okay.
Inacho and Thomas are on.
Okay, so he's going for the defensive left back, but he's going in Acho as the target man. Okay, it'll be interesting, mate. I will leave you to it so I can get back onto my stream and continue the defeat. But positive 45. Positive 45 is all we can hope for now.
Indeed. I'll see you in a bit, mate.
See you
City are
later.
making changes as well. So take care, mate. See you later.
Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye. So here we go. Interesting. I thought Christensen had a really, really, really good game. But look, we don't know. Has he pulled something? Inacho and Thomas are on. Vardy and Christensen are off. Unfortunately, I wanted Ndidi and KDH off, but we haven't got that. Obviously, Santa Claus doesn't think I've been a good enough boy. So, second half is going to kick off. We are 3-0 down. And Leicester in their black and green, or predominantly black strip with green trim, police type trim, are going to kick off. They are now kicking from left to right, and we are away. And Manchester City in their normal home strip of sky blue tops, blue shorts, white shorts, and sky blue socks with a little bit of a claret trim for some reason. 45 minutes just to put a performance in here. Yeah, it was better, Gray. I agree. Totally, John. I agree. I was, you want your homegrown players. Of course you do. When you come to think how exciting KDH was when he first came, and when Barnes came back, how exciting he was, but they both stagnated under Rodgers. Anyway, even back pass to Everson, he belts it upfield. Good long kick into the Man City half. And Manchester City substitutions. Stones is off for Akanage, and Haaland is off, thank God, for Alvarez. Just as bad, probably, but Everson closed down there and has to boot it, and it goes out for a throw-in. Cags, I've got to be turning with you. I've put crosses and ticks down. I put crosses against Ndidi and KDH and a big tick against Soyuncu. Somebody did ask earlier, is he staying or is he going? Will he stay or will he go now? I mean, his contract expires, I think, this summer, so he's a free agent. I would like to see him stay. I've always liked him, and I think it's criminal that he hasn't been playing. But of course, it depends how he feels. It depends what we offer him. Depends who the manager is. Hopefully, he might just wait long enough to decide, who is, the new manager and give him a chance. So 8 shots to 3 at the moment. We haven't got one on target yet, though. Oof. Playing about with it in the area. Just clear it. Inacho to KDH. Turns on the ball, he's brought down. It's a free kick on the halfway line. Rodrigo brought him down on the far side. Yeah, there's 3 shots. It just says there's none on target. I don't know how true. What do you call on target and not on target? Madison. Oh, a beautiful chip through to Inacho. Go on, my son. Oh, good defending by Manchester City, but it was offside anyway. It was offside. It was a lovely through ball by Maddison. Completely cut the Manchester City defence open. Oh, that was a tight one. If it was offside, that was extremely tight. That was the proverbial duck's arse. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, John. Evans has got that experience, though, but he is injury prone. I agree 100%. And I would let Ricardo go as well, because I think he's becoming a bit of a sick note. Totally agree. Gray. I'd want Evans to stay on as a coach, but that said, if Smith, Shakespeare, and Terry stay and are our manager next season, how many defensive coaches do we need? Leicester are battling for this, and they win it. KDH, she's looking for somebody to pass to. He passes it again. This time it's too hard. Oh, it's Thomas. Sorry. KDH was passing to Thomas. It's either too soft or too hard. You just can't get it right. I've been told that a few times. That was a tight offside. It really was. But as it said, Kyle Walker defended well. Anyway. Agree, John. Terry is definitely a step up. Unfortunately, Kolo Toure is in the studio, which is a good reason why I've had to have the sound off. I thought they wanted to get experts in when they discuss these things at half time. Don't know what he's an expert in, Kolo Toure. It certainly wasn't winning. Terry, all joking aside, I'm not going to get involved in personal stuff here, but you've got to say one of the best ever Premier League defenders. So Man City have the ball. If you are new, guys, please do subscribe to the channel. And there's 26 of you in, so please smash those likes buttons as well. That is a big help to the channel. It gets us seen where we're not normally seen. So subscribe if you're new, old, or indifferent. Please, please smash the likes buttons as well. At the moment, it's all Manchester City again at the moment. Another substitution for Manchester City. After 52 minutes. "17 likes and 27 in the watch along. Rodri is off. Oh, it's a matter of Calvin Phillips coming on. What could possibly go wrong? I think half time came at the wrong time for us, Gray, to be honest with you. I think we were just on top. Alvarez has scored 11 of his 14 goals at home. Oh, that was a bit of a wayward kick there from Cags. And Castagna unable to keep it in. You know what? I don't get that, Richard. I really don't get that. Why add a booking fee on? Why not just include it in the price? And they never say that at the start, do they? It's like delivery. That's the price. And then by the time you've got through to pay it, you've got delivery. You've got small order charge sometimes. You've got booking fee. Told you. I told you. Okay, guys, I've put subscriber mode on now just for chats, just to make sure that we have the people that are chatting are the subscribers. Oh, good defending. Good defending by Thomas there. Got back well. It's a corner, but it was good defending. Stuck with the Manchester City striker. Kept his eye on the ball, got his foot on it, and just kicked it out for a corner. Blue Soonchu is... Well, something happened between him and Rodgers, didn't it? Oh, Grealish tries a fancy shot there. It goes wide and not very high. And it wasn't marked on the edge of the box. It was a good corner, good idea. But no, I think he shinned it more than anything. "55 minutes gone, 3-0 to Manchester City. At this stage in the first half, we were 2-0 down. So it's, every cloud, I guess, every cloud. What are people's thoughts about doing the post-match now on Mondays at 9 rather than an hour and a half after the game finishes? Grealish bringing it away now. Takes it past Tielemans. Oh, Faze, I think it was, just getting his foot in there and giving a free kick. Of course it has. No, Doug, I meant to put it on at the start, to be honest with you, and I only just realised. But no, thank you anyway, Doug. But but nobody's been any problem whatsoever. It's a tight one, John. That I'm going to say it's a tight one. We are really a better team without Rodgers. We're looking it. Like I say, we've got to accept who we're playing. Free kick quickly taken by Man City, chipped into the box, off the head of Ndidi. Realised that he doesn't have to use his hands. Chipped back in. Oh, out for a goal kick. Over everybody's head from Silva there. No, it's the weekend after, Doug. It's the 30th of April. It's Mike Summerby in the stands there. It's Azerbaijan GP on the 30th of April. I don't know. Wolves have come good, Anthony. You know, they won today again. So, but that game, I would be, if we were losing like this to Wolves, I would be more concerned. Tielemans giving the ball away, but you win it back. Oh, then it's another bad pass. Oh, that's going to be a free kick. Possible booking for Dewsbury Hall. Don't know what he's arguing about. He's lucky he's not got booked there. Are you up for joining me and Chris Welsh on the preview for the GP, Doug? There used to be a saying that you knew you were getting old when policemen started to look young. Manchester City have just shown a substitution they might be making. He looks about 15. Oh, I have to say, it was indeed he actually got his foot on that to put it out. I think it was, yes. Just stopped Laporte getting onto the end of it. Bit of pressure coming here from Man City. Short corner. Grealish has got it back into the box. Plays it out outside the box. It's going to be a long shot coming in. Oh, what a save! What a save from Iverson. From Mahrez. Mahrez is like, what the? It's a beautiful shot from Mahrez. Beautiful shot, but matched by a beautiful save. Brilliant save. Possibly Wednesday, Doug. Possibly Wednesday. It was great. It was great. We're just putting it together. It's going to be a brand new quiz. It's going to be the big fat football quiz, but it's going to be Leicester. So it's going to be Leicester only. We're going to be getting all the Leicester fans up against each other. There's going to be like 6 sections. I did write them down somewhere, and I've obviously lost them, which is usually the case. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah, there's going to be 7 sections: current squad, Europe, transfers, managers, general club history, 15-16 season, and then you choose a season that you get 1 question on, which is worth an extra point. Tielemans is coming off, and Mendy is coming on. KDH is coming off, and Pratt is coming on. So indeed, he still stays on. We've got Mendy and Pratt on now. That's 4 substitutions. He obviously realises that we can do it. He's had some good games. I'm going to be honest with you, Blue. I think we might see a goalkeeper come in the summer. It's on the edge of the box with Grealish for Manchester City. Kicking from right to left, remember. Passing it around very neatly, very nicely, just outside the Leicester box. Leicester need to try and get hold of this ball now. It's pronounced Pratt, isn't it? That's... So that's going to be coming probably after the end of the season. I need to get some Leicester fans lined up for that. I have a feeling Brad will be our first. Wardy's paid a fortune to be a fan. And Everson collects it there. I don't know what you lot are talking about in the chat, but you are going off on a tangent on your own there, I think. Manchester City have the ball. Manchester City are just, I think, playing for time now. They obviously don't want to get any injuries before the end of the season, before the end of the game, because they've got the second leg of the Champions League quarter final coming up next week. But they're virtually through for that. Yeah, but John, didn't we all sort of praise him when he won us, League Cup and FA Cup games? He's still there, Blue Fox. He's still there. He's looking a bit animated there, Pep. I don't know why, Pep. Relax. You're 3-0 up. 65 minutes gone. Inacho with a header. Third header. Soyuncu with the ball. Runs forward, plays it out to... it's now played back, all the way back to Ndidi. FaZe has it. It's out here now with Castagna. Ndidi loses it. We've not got to play Arsenal, Leicester for life. I think it's a very difficult season to judge the goalkeeper on because the defence and the whole team has been awful. But I've got to say, when Everson's come in, he's done what he's had to do and he's played very well. I think possibly Ward did need to be taken out of the limelight. I don't think Ward was as bad as everybody claims. It's a corner to Manchester City on the far side. John Terry there. Looking very deep in thought. Set piece coach should have been training them on this. Corner is headed away, but it's only as far as Grealish. Boots it back in and somebody does get in the way of it. And it's back now with City on the halfway line. But again, it's played forward to the far side. Headed clear by Thomas, going out for a throw-in. The shots are what's on the screen, Emporium. Throw into Leicester. Castagne's going to take it. Wolves at home and Leeds away, I believe. View. Oh, lovely ball, trying to find Iheanacho, but it wasn't quite on target. But a nice long through pass there. A view from the stands. Remind me, I'm thinking Villa. I don't know if I'm right there at all. Yeah, I would hope for 6, but I think Leicester will go down. If I'm honest with you, but thank you for saying Saints, Forest, and then one of Leeds and Everton. I mean, are Everton going to get deducted points? Who knows? Knowing the FA, they won't have the balls to do it, and they'll leave it. And if Everton get relegated by they're doing the Poznan, Manchester City fans, and then they'll leave it to the EFL to sort out. Yeah, Dean Smith, I get a good win for you today. I didn't see that coming, mate. I went for what did I go for? I went for a draw. So that was a great win for you. Absolutely 3-0. Now then, Castagne's on his own down the left-hand side, chips it into the box. It's Pratt. Shot on target, everybody. But it unfortunately was a bit of a daisy cutter. But lovely ball. Castagne running down this right-hand side had the space of the Etihad. Oh. I think they might have called that Iheanacho was offside. What's a fine? They just play that out of the back pocket, don't they? Yeah, I went 1-1. I like, wow. But well done. I mean, you got rid of your manager, you got a new manager and in plenty of time. And he's a good manager. I think Arsenal will regret, or did, I think they got rid of him too soon. I mean, no disrespect, but I'm surprised he's gone to Villa and he obviously turned Newcastle down. But hey ho, I think it was contractual problems. 71 minutes played. Leicester at the moment are enjoying a bit of possession. Retro's in. Hello, Retro. Welcome back. How are you? Nice to see you back in the old YouTube world. Go and check out Retro. He's been away from YouTube for a while, but he's back now. Not a good result for you, though, mate. Everton game is absolutely massive. We've said that so many times. Referee's calling somebody over, telling him to shut up, and to call in. Who's he calling over? Telling us to wait. Is it a Man City player? Don't know. They're showing now the substitution. For God's sake, Sky, show us who he's talking to, you plonkers. Don't want to see a substitution. Who is the referee talking to? Who knows? Because Sky won't show it. Grealish is coming off. And Gomez is coming on. Take your pick, View. Start of the season, before the World Cup, after the World Cup. 20 games to go. Well, that's a point about the wage bill. Yep, some big teams are going to go down. But that's football. That's what we love about football. Teams can dream, teams can live the dream, and then you think you're getting big and it cuts you down. Oh, lovely, some lovely play here. Oh! Leicester suddenly, those last 5 minutes have been really having a go at Manchester City. Maddison there turned lovely, got the played 1-2. And unfortunately, Manchester City defender got in his way, damn him. It is, James, totally, that's what we're saying. I'm annoyed with the individual errors, but it was a free hit. Not a fan at all, no. Brendan Bellend, not a fan at all. Yes! We got a goal! Inacho scores! Leicester have got a goal from a corner! Not only have we scored, but we've got a goal. And not only that, do you know who it is? Oh, yes, I've got to do it. It is the one. I've got to find it. It's the one. The only, and I still can't find it. There it is. Oh, what a goal. Number 14, Iheanacho, 75 minutes gone. It's 3-1. This is why he should be starting. From a corner as well. I tell you what, we're going to look. Bear with me, guys. We don't score that many goals, Leicester City, this season. Goal! Whoa. Flabbergasted, don't really know what to say. Dean Smith miracle work already. Look, would that have happened under Rodgers? Who knows? If we're totally honest with you, who knows? In my opinion, that wouldn't have happened under Rodgers because he'd have brought about 10 defensive players on and said, look, let's keep it down to 3-0. Interesting there, Rodgers, there we go. Dean Smith on prowling his technical zone, shouting at the players, and Pep was just sat down. Now he's up. We're going to win 4-3. Oh, God, yes. No. What did I go in the scores? I went 2-1. Unfortunately. No, I didn't. Hang on, what did I go for? Oh, I did. I went 3-1. I've already got a 3-pointer. Jeff, well done. Thank you for reminding me. I'd give up 2 points if Leicester got another one, to be honest with you. Nacho man, oh indeed. Easy goal. Look, I don't know. It's been coming. Get in. Yeah. Come on, you. Can't believe Villa have done brilliantly. I tell you what, outside bet for promotion. For Europe. Like, I'm that excited we scored a goal. John, I hope that post about the goal was not before I announced it. Can anybody tell me if he put that up before I actually scored that said that we'd got a goal? Because if we have, I'm going to have to kick him out. So if anybody can let me know, please. Shane is in. Good evening. There should be though, John. Look at the players that have come on. Oh, Nacho, he's got the taste now. It's a goal kick, but it was another shot. I'll have to look back, John, on the VAR. Yeah, indeed we do, Jeff. Indeed we do. I'll have to look back because if you did announce that goal before I actually went in, you're going to have to be removed from the being able to comment in any of the shows moving forward. So it's 3-1. Game on, boys. 10 minutes left. Manchester City have given us the ball on the halfway line. Mendy to Ndidi. Ndidi back to Faze. Faze back to Everson. Ooh, that was a little bit short. He was lucky there. Everson got to it, booted it upfield, but we've given it away again. Not often I'm ahead, Mighty. I'm going to say fair enough then, John. Fair enough. I didn't see it, so that's why I was asking, but fair play to you, mate. Fair play. Yeah, I'm never ahead of the IPTV feed. I'm on an IPTV feed. But look, 3-1. It's 80 minutes. Blow the whistle now. Blow the whistle now. Oh, dear. Who's very bad? Man City got it on the far side. Soyuncu's been playing. What have we thought of Soyuncu's contribution today? Yeah, we've had that discussion, Ua. I mean, you know, do we know? We've now got to sort of look and say, why did Schmeichel leave? We all thought it was time for him to go. Yeah, Cags is awful. Cags is awful. What am I saying? I can't multitask. See, I'm retired now, and this is it. So it goes to my head. Cags has been very, very impressive. John Terry impact as well. But I'm Craig Shakespeare. You know, I mean, I think as a threesome, if we go down, I'd like them to stay and bring us back up, because I don't think Potter will come to us if we go down. If we stay up, the argument could be that they deserve a chance at it. But I know they sort of really are banging on for Graham Potter, but yeah, if they keep us up, so if they somehow manage to keep us up, oh, it's gone out. Is that a Leicester throw? Yes, it is. On the near side. Look, I am watching Dean Smith in his technical area, 82 minutes, 3-1 down, and I have not seen him go once yet. It's pleasure to see. It's a pleasure to see. He's shouting at his players. He's giving them direction. I forgot that that's what managers do. But I don't know, Blue. I don't know. I just hope with Soyuncu, I just hope we haven't lost him in the summer. So Faye's on the near side into Ndidi. Always worries me when he gets the ball. He played a little 1-2 with Madison. It's now went back to Sutan. Now it's over to Soyuncu on the far side. Hopefully, Leicester. Hopefully. It totally grey. Do you know what I found? I found some seal bars I've still got. I might have to have a ritual eating of them as a final goodbye. Sutar, a long boot upfield. Oh, it's a good header back to the goalkeeper. 84 minutes gone, it's 3-1. We are in this match. Been a very clean match, only one booking. And that was Bernardo Silva in the 45th minute. 12 shots to Manchester City, 7 to Leicester. 43% of our shots have been on target. Only 33% of Manchester City's have been on target. Interesting. And look, the possession, yeah, you can say, oh, go on, Maddison, go on, put the ball in the fucking net, yes! No. Oh, Maddison, he took the ball, he intercepted a pass. He should have played Iheanacho in. Iheanacho was open. Maddison scored glory. Saw glory for himself. Should have passed it across to Nacho, but we've got a corner. Thank you. So that excited. I didn't. I haven't. I updated it and I didn't do that bit. Cross comes in. Oh, a diving header. They're asking for, I don't know, they're asking for a penalty. The referee says no. Not sure why they're asking the question. And the referee saying, look, hang on a second, I'm going to check with VAR. They're asking for a penalty for something. Let's have a look. Handball? Well, it hit his hand. Number 21 for Man City, whoever that is, it did hit his hand. He was putting it behind his back, and it went behind his back afterwards, but it did hit his arm. Daka's coming on. Indeed, he is off. Daka is on. We are going for this. We are going for this. We are going 2 up front. Is it a penalty shout? No, it's not been. Oh, that was a penalty. That hit his arm. If that's not a fucking penalty, what isn't? I'd give up with VAR. Totally give up. Total and utter wankers that run VAR. Utter wankers. It was a handball every day of the week. Yeah, he should have done. He should have done. There are. Yeah, it had to be. Had to be. I am going to say it here now. Referees are corrupt. Referees are corrupt. I've just messaged Keith Hackett. Should have been handball. Should have been handball. I've just messaged Keith Hackett. Take care, Blue. All the best, mate. Thanks for popping in. I seriously do not know how they get away with this. Three minutes. See, that's what pees me off. Oh, is it the post? Inacho's hit the post. A lovely ball through from Madison. Inacho had the ball. Lovely do. Had beat the goalkeeper. All ends up, and it came off the post. Wow. And is another penalty, for fuck's sake, referee? How much are you being paid by Manchester City today? So we're coming up to the end now. This referee, he is in Manchester City's pocket. They've given it away again, Manchester City. So it's Leicester. So Yunchu on the halfway line. A chipped ball all the way across. It doesn't quite get to Castagna though, but he gets it up and he's going to take it for a free kick. And it's all over. It's full time. Right, just updating the score. Am I pleased with that performance? Second half, yes. Right, I tell you what, I'm going to be back in 2 minutes. Just bear with me, ladies and gentlefolk. Right, back. I've messaged on a couple of things to Keith Hackett, who is ex FIFA referee and ex chairman of the PGMOL. I just can't believe those decisions. Look, we're going to lose. We're going to lose against Man City, but it's the way in which we lose. It just pisses me off that it's the referees it's incompetent refereeing. It's corrupt and incompetent refereeing. That's what it is. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. I don't believe it. Let's bring my co-host in. Just wait for his camera to load up, and then we'll bring him in. That referee was a complete J. Arthur. Honestly, we weren't that bad, and they scored 3, so I'm not angry or happy. Oh, not at all. I really need you on cam, mate. Let's just go back to the comments. After we scored, we could have at least drew the game. All hope is not lost. We played very well. We played very well at the end. Many positives from the game to take into our following critical games to come. Smith's team have a great chance to keep us up. I think they do. Ray says we must play 3-5-2. If we do, we are unstoppable. And like you said, I'm frustrated more than anything. In favour of the big six, I think they are. We must play 3-5-2s. We must play 3-5-2. Surely somebody can see we need two up front. I think Brad's just trying to get his camera sorted. I'd take 3-1 all day after that, indeed. Inacho was a ray of sunshine. Bad VAR. I just think it was extremely, extremely bad. Oh, I can see him. So, ladies, stop going mad. He's here. He's live, and he can be seen. And he will do when I just bring him in one moment. There we go, ladies. There we go. Brad, how bent are these officials?
Well, it's one for one for the other. I mean, the handball was that. I wouldn't have liked it being awarded against us, let's say that much. But
it touched his arm, though. He was putting his hand behind the back, I grant you. But it touched his arm. It blocked a shot.
Use past history, and you'll probably find that they've been given for them sort of teams. So, yeah. But what a difference that goal did. It sort of gives them that belief, and it's just exactly what Dean Smith would have wanted as a response to that first half. Just give them something to believe in. And you know what? Credit where it's due, because I don't care what you think about the first half. A game of football is 90 minutes. And if Madders finishes that or squares it even, Inacho and an inch the other side, in terms of big chances, Chris, that could have been 3-up, 3-3. And I'm not saying we would have deserved it, but it could have. That's the funny thing in football. It doesn't matter if you necessarily deserve it.
No. Can I just say, what am I looking at here? I don't know whether I should say that. I feel a bit guilty saying this.
I don't know, it's so difficult not to look smug at this point.
I think that was 3 points.
I believe it is, mate. I wish Madders has bloody well scored now.
You had the crowd on your side in the chat. They're going like, God, it's going to be 3-2, Chris. You're going to lose 3 points and give them to Brad.
Oh, mate, that would have made my day. I'd have been happy with that.
Yeah, well, every cloud, mate. Every cloud. Look, I'm sorry. I mean, I've actually messaged Keith Hackett, who I've had on the show. He's an ex-PGMOL chairman. He's an ex-FIFA referee. I've asked him, how corrupt are the managers, if he can come on. It's a bit short notice, so I don't expect him to be able to come on. But we will see what he will reply at some point, but he may not be busy. Look, I mean, that second half, I mean, drop Wallace, that's a point for us, isn't it, really? But
yeah, we won that half, that's 3 points, right? But that change that table, get it updated.
Are we saying that we were a lot better in the second half, or was it already game over and Man City were thinking, is it Bayern they're playing in the Champions League?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. That quality still overshadows this squad, what they put on, and what it doesn't matter. They could have had every right in that second half to have kept doing what they did in the first half. But we dug in. We changed it up. We dug in. We were a lot calmer on it. People will go, substitutions, Man City. That squad still, like I literally will say it all the time when anybody wants to come in and say it. That squad that came out for the second half of Man City was still head and shoulders above Leicester. At the end of the day, you saw what happened when that goal went in. You cannot tell me that something didn't change in a manner from the Leicester bench and we should be taking all the positives from it, because they were nervy. And like I say, on paper, you look at the big chances in that half, they all fell to Leicester. It could have been a hell of a different game.
Yeah, and I think, in fairness, I know you love it, and I'm going to play it because I think he deserves it. Oh, I mean, and he hit the post as well. He could have.
Yeah, Mate, in another universe, right? Ian actually had that squared to Madders and he taps it in for 3-2 and he's an inch to the other side of the post and he grabs a hat-trick against Man City. It will just...
I know.
Dean Smith, if I could give you one criticism, and I get it, every manager that comes in probably just sees Vardy as that go-to man. If that doesn't convince you that we need that man to start, then that's the only criticism, because that he changed the whole complex of the game coming on.
Totally. And like I say, look, I think we all went for a loss. You know, we all thought that they were going to beat us. We all said it was a free hit. But and that performance in the first half, they came... Oh, I've got to turn the telly off. Colo Torres on. I can't watch him, so-called expert. Couldn't be an expert in boiling an egg, that man. You know, that first 15 minutes, they blew us away. They totally blew us away. They came out. They showed us the respect by picking the players that they picked, I believe.
Yep.
And I just... They got the job done, but then they didn't have it easy.
No, they didn't, and that's credit to Dean Smith. That's because he made the changes. He made the tactical changes. He went 2 up front, and he went, you know what? We'll chance it, you know. And do you know what was funny? Right, I know you don't listen to it on the volume for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But at the end of the match, it was Alan Smith, you know, Ebley's Marmite, if you will, and Martin Tyler, I think it was. I forgot for a second who the other one was, because Alan Smith, it just does that to me. But no, he actually said for the man of the match, obviously it was given to Haaland for obvious reasons, but he said you could give one for each half. Like Martin Tyler kind of jokingly said that, but he was right. You can say what you like about substitutions, taking the foot off the gas. That's Man City. Pep don't like it. He'll be actually yelling at them for conceding a goal.
Yeah.
If you know anything about Pep and seen any of his documentaries, he won't be there going, "Oh, well, good win, lads." He might be, well, he probably will a bit, but he'll be fuming that they switched off. He'll be fuming that Madders had a chance, and he'll be fuming in the actual at the post. Not obviously because they did that, but he'll be going, "We nearly blew that game. They only had 3 decent chances, and they put one of them away." And I do another day, you know, he won't be happy with that. So you can't really accuse them of saying that they really took it easy, because he ain't the manager to allow it. So you've got to give us a positive for that second half, because it's just what we hoped to see from the day, didn't it? It's what we wanted from the day. At some point in that game, we wanted to see some form of aggression and effort to go, they ain't, you know, they're on the canvas right now, but they are picking themselves up.
Yes, yeah. You wanted to see, and I know for the first 20 minutes, people were saying, "Oh, it's like having Brendan back," and all, you know. But we had to, you know, this was Manchester City. You know,
it's
better teams than us this season will have struggled against them. You know, they beaten Newcastle. You know, there's a lot of teams they've beaten. I mean, just looking, I mean, all right, that's the table there, but let's just have a look who Man City have beaten in the last 5 games. Let me just take that off. You know, they've beaten Newcastle United. They've beaten Palace. They've beaten Liverpool 4-1. You know, they've beaten Southampton. So there's, you know, Liverpool and Newcastle, they've lost to this team. I mean, Liverpool lost 4-1. Newcastle didn't score a goal against them. Let's look at the positives here.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Dean Smith will be going about. I'm reckoning the first half in the change rooms, people went, "You know what, first half, forget it. Forget it, let's go again. This is it, go again. It's 0-0, go again." And I reckon he would if we joke about it, but I reckon that's the sort of, he gives me that impression. It's the sort of guy that would have used today, gone, okay, wasn't ideal. Can't happen against Man City. And when it does, you know, they go at you. I mean, it's a wonder goal to give him credit for his position he plays in circumstances that gets him in the lead. You know, we didn't get the ideal start. We didn't get to frustrate them for 15 minutes, but we can go again and do it. And it did. It worked, because they couldn't get anywhere near us in that second half.
No. Half time, substitutes made, which was nice to see. I tell you what, I have so missed. We actually saw a manager prowling that that technical area, barking instructions out.
Yeah, it was great, and it was what's needed. Again, we were just looking. We kind of didn't care about the scoreline to a point. Obviously, we were really worried. 20 minutes that it could be a massacre, but again, proving in another 45 minutes that this game really is still a game of two halves. And what you saw was just energy. I mean, 93rd minute, Chris, we're 3-1 down, and they're still going for it. They're still trying to get him behind. I mean, the fact that we had that chance when Iheanacho was in stoppage time, that's what made me realise that, God, we could have nicked something in extra time, in stoppage time here on another day.
Yeah.
And again, considering the talent that was on the pitch, it ain't like they do this regularly. You know what I mean? I mean, he has just become, and I still think it's a job that anybody could win stuff at because we've seen it over the years. But I do have to give credit when it's due, and he's become the quickest Premier League manager to 100 home wins in doing it in just 28 games. 128 games he's done that, and that is impressive. You've got to give credit where it's due on that basis. Whether you think he's a Pep fraudiola or not, but to do that, I mean, to be fair, we probably got 15% of the defeats against them at their place for the amount of times we beat them at the Etihad. So it says something.
Max, I'm sorry, mate. I'm doing a post, Matt. I don't know. I haven't any thoughts on Bournemouth at the moment at all. Sorry, buddy. Iheanacho and Thomas on at half-time. Vardy and Christensen off. It was nice to see that somebody actually looked at that and went, we can't carry on like this.
Yeah, because you would have probably under Brendan, he'd have kept going, Christensen. He obviously clearly saw, and he was caught out of position a few times, and he did seem to be like a deer in the headlights in that left wing role, which I actually kind of had an outside formation where he actually filled in for Barnes at left wing. That hopefully won't be a thing because he didn't look too good going forward. And you know, I always said Luke Thomas is a more reserved left wing back. He's not that aggressive attacking one. He's very conservative in doing that. He'll only do that if it's necessary and he's got in good space. And it worked. It shored us up a bit. It calmed us down. I love his energy. Sometimes a little bit too much, though, could be the case.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the changes were good and they were right for the situation.
4 substitutions made in total because Tielemans and KDH came on. Mendy and Pratt. Let me get my teeth in. Tielemans and KDH went off. Mendy and Pratt came on. I suppose. I mean, Mendy. I know we think of him as a defensive midfielder. We know he can score the odd goal here and there, but it was nice to see Pratt get on.
Yeah.
Tielemans. I mean, look, it was his first game back.
Yeah.
So he probably wasn't going to last for 90, and I get that. And KDH, for me, it wasn't his best game. Although, look, let me be fair here, because I'm critical when I need to be. But I think KDH and Ndidi did have, while they were on the, well, no, obviously Ndidi was on until the end, but they did get better after those mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a blur blinking. You missed first 15, 20 minutes or whenever it was when it was 3-0. But after that, it could only get better. Again, we got our feet on the ball. We had created a few half chances near the end of that half. So you did see the engine start to tick a little bit, and maybe we did take advantage of a little bit of like lapping concentration, but take what you're given as well, and
yeah.
And again, I'll reiterate it, on big chances, it could have been a bit better.
Well, let's just talk about something. Iheanacho made it 3-1, 74 minutes late. Not only did we score a goal against Manchester City, we actually scored a goal from a corner.
I've always liked John Terry, I don't think he did anything with Wayne Bridges' wife. No, he's innocent until proven guilty. Unless he was proven guilty, then I'm just, what? Yeah, I mean, it was a good attacking header. Allegedly, yeah, Your Honour, allegedly. But no, it was good. I mean, it was Sutar, wasn't it, that got the initial header. It caused chaos. Powerful header. And then right place, right time. And you just saw a transformation like we've not seen before.
Yeah.
In terms of tempo from us, which is really good.
Says, how the F did we lose twice to Southampton? Because we had the bell end in charge. That's how we lost twice to Southampton.
Yeah, because we played defensive for 90 minutes.
Yeah. Indeed, he didn't make the 90 minutes. Sorry. He came off for Daka. 86 minutes gone. Go for it. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
At that point, you've lost.
Yeah. Sorry, go on, finish. Sorry, I'm just.
I stopped for you. You carry on.
I was going to say, yeah, and you look at it, and people might go, yeah, but 4 minutes. What's the point? Well, you saw who had the extra chance in that half. It wasn't Man City killing it off, making it 4-1. You go, oh well, put bodies forward. You've got to be reserved as possible. You've got to know when to strike, and that defensive mistake that led to the Madders chance was still in their minds, and you throw him on. He probably would have got on a few minutes earlier, and people might say that still wouldn't make any difference, but it would have. And it's just one of them. We chanced it, but we weren't reckless, and I like that. I like that because we still created the only chance in that ending 5 or 6 minutes to grab a goal, and I would have got 3 points.
Pratt had an effort, which unfortunately was a daisy cutter, and went straight
in.
It was Edison, their goalkeeper, isn't it? If my memory is right.
Didn't Nacho and Madders nearly curl one just wide and just over?
Yeah, well, he should have passed to Inacho, but look, at the end of the day, if it had gone in, we wouldn't have been, would have been happy.
Exactly.
We sit here, I couldn't run for 5 seconds, let alone 90 minutes. So I'm not going to be careful how I criticise it. Man, I mean, when you look at the play, they took off one of their players and they brought on Calvin Phillips, an England midfielder, for God's sake. Substitute. Their B team is better than our A team, if you like. And he said at the end, we let our standards slip late on. Well, maybe they did, but that's football, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And again, we knew this game was going to be a stretch to try and talk positives, but it actually has probably been quite comfortable to talk about the positives because Leicester made them uncomfortable. Is quite right. We did. We made them uncomfortable. It was by no means a lack of effort. It was, hold on a minute, we've just spent 45, 50 odd minutes not having a thing to do. And now all of a sudden they're coming at us. It's almost like that was the game plan, but just without the 3 goals, obviously, like to catch Man City unawares. And it nearly paid off in a weird way, didn't it? It's just, it is what it is.
Yeah. Penalty shot. Let's go back to the. I think it hit his arm, and then there was another penalty shot after that the referee just waved his arms. And you've got to say, and I know. Look, I've just lost the game, and my team's just lost the game. Maybe I'm feeling a little bit, peed off. But obviously, had Manchester City not won this, whilst it wouldn't have handed Arsenal the title, it wouldn't have given the Premier League the battle to the end that they probably wanted.
Well, yeah, and the problem is because there's so many inconsistencies with VAR decisions that have been made over since day one. Let's face it. Since his introduction to the Premier League, day one anyway. It's just one of them where I said to you, didn't I, before I joined it. I wouldn't have liked to have seen it given against us, but then you look at other games where they have been given, and it just gives you that extra ammo to kind of say there's a little bit of, well, there's not a little bit, is it? It's a massive allegedly paying. I used it in a different phrase. You can't do me for that. Favoritism.
Corruption. We would question the corruption that may or may not be there.
If that was Wout phase and that was given, I would be apoplectic because it's just not in the context of the game. It's not a penalty for me, but you look at all the other handball decisions that have been given, so you it's double standards, isn't it?
Inchi hit the post in the 90th minute. He was a revelation when he came on, wasn't he?
Oh, he really was. That spark and energy. I think the problem is Vardy's what you call a deep line forward. He comes farther back, and I'm not actually that bothered that Nacho was strolling back because it meant he kept longer in the attacking things. I think Jamie Vardy's eager to get the ball back, which is great in hindsight, but without a second striker, he can't do anything. Whereas Iheanacho takes a long time to get back. If Leicester win that ball early and pick it off Man City like they were able to do more in the second half, it proves he can get utilised straight away. He held the ball up, he got on runs, he had a few chances. I mean, Chris, he could have scored a hat-trick, and I can't believe we're saying that after the first 45 minutes. He really could have had a hat-trick today.
Well, the interesting thing there is Kelechi Iheanacho has now scored 3 goals in the last 5 appearances against former club Man City in all competitions. Since the start of the 21-22 season, Iheanacho has scored more goals against Man City than against any other opponent.
There you go. The answer was kind of staring you in the face a little bit, Dean Smith, but if that performance doesn't get him in your lineup against, is it Wolves next weekend?
Well, they've just said here he should do. He should do.
Oh, God. If he don't, then I'm going to start questioning the temporary gaffer, because you can't put in a performance like that and not go, even if he goes one up front, at least it's got to be Nacho. I mean, that is the only way you'll blemish a fairly overall, in the end, positive game you could have as first manager against Man City, I think.
2 massive games coming up, as they say there. Wolves away, home to Wolves and away at Leeds. They are 2 massive games. Now, fair play to Wolves, who, themselves have not totally out of it, but, at the moment they're sat in 13th on 34 points. So you've got to probably say they look safe.
Yeah, and that is the only little problem with certain results is, now teams are going to start closing off their place for vacancy of relegation, because 34 points. I think it's good that Wolves is at home. I really do, because I wouldn't like to be going to Molineux and having another tough away day after their result. So that could benefit us, because I will say that as well. I know you don't have to sound. I'm going to get this in now. Well done to our supporters. You were terrific throughout the game. The empty ad was sounding like it, especially in that second half. So well done to the support that travelled today. They didn't let that team down in terms of supporting them.
A couple of the chants where we've got the ball, and then we've lost the ball, we've lost the ball.
Yeah. But they just enjoyed the occasion. You know what I mean? They knew what we were getting into today with Man City, and I think they just did it.
Yes. Couple of players. I mean, Everson again had he made a good save. He made a brilliant save in the second half. I think it was. Number 1 going forward?
Looks that way. You can't mix them up again.
No.
You can't do it. There's just no point. It doesn't do anything. And again, with the greatest respect, because he's an interim role, I think any manager would have the sense not to just drop Iverson, who's been performing well. I'll give it where it's given. I don't think Danny Ward's been as bad as people have made out, but he's taking opportunity. He's taking opportunity with both hands, and so far he's done all right when it's been called upon. That's all I ask, and eventually he'll earn that clean sheet he deserves.
Yeah. Mike, your answer to your first question is there, and spoken like a true Man United fan, one supporter could outsing Manchester City, even bloody Forest Green Rovers.
He's not wrong. I mean, at points, Chris, they were all I could hear.
Yeah.
When the commentary goes a little bit dead, that's all I could hear was our fans singing.
I mean, it's great, and that probably gave the guys a bit of a boost as well, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
One thing I want to say here is, what the hell happened between Rodgers and Soyuncu? Now, I think he was up there with probably. I'm going to put it out there. For me, he was probably our man of the match.
He played well. He played well, and back what you say. He said clean slate. He's given a clean slate. probably, I can imagine he said something along the lines of, look, whether if you're willing to put the effort in, no matter what your situation is, I don't care.
Yeah.
If you're willing to put the effort in and show me you're up for the fight, you'll get game time under me. Whatever your past issues were, I don't care for them. You leave them in the past. I'll pick you on what I see and how well you do on training. And you saw the smiles on the videos from the players that normally aren't in videos, or they're in the background, so you can't really see their facial expression. And, it's just, you feel there's just something. And like I said, yes, it was 3-0, but you saw a lot in that second half to give you a little bit of positive hope that this might not just be dead in the water like we were fearing 2 games ago. Well, a game ago, should I say.
Yeah. Terry, you could be right there. He said it's called a vendetta, and Ray agrees with me. For him, Soyuncu was man of the match. I mean, come the end of the season, right? Please don't give Johnny Evans an extension, because I want him to stay at the club. I would have wanted him to stay at the club as that defensive role, and I think a coach. But I think it depends, whether John Terry's still there next season. As in, all 3 of them. But he's just a sick note at the moment. Same with Ricardo. But Soyuncu, you need to get out there and go. Somebody needs to be knocking on his door tomorrow and go, look, fancy staying? Can you sign a new contract? Nobody's coming in for you, because he's been open for offers since January. Right, we've seen. I mean, that match. You cannot say on that performance that he should not. He should have been playing for the last season.
There's no smoke without fire, and I still think that getting his head turned, Soyuncu had a little bit for the falling out, because it didn't seem to come across as something that happened just on a whim in a training ground bust-up or something. It seemed like something was probably mentally where Soyuncu was not right there, and he couldn't work his usual man management with him. It didn't rub the right way with Soyuncu. And players like that like hearing what Dean Smith said about giving a fresh slate. And it sounds so ridiculous because we just lost 3-1. We're still in trouble. And we're kind of fortunate that the results that kind of mattered the most to us happened, in terms of Everton losing and Southampton losing. Because we know teams are eventually going to pull away like Palace have, and Wolves look like they pretty much have. But what matters right now is the 4 teams that we're in and around. And you look at that performance, you look at the energy, you look at the performances for players that have been frozen out or we haven't seen the best of today, or this season, shall I say. There's no reason. It all depends on Leicester and where they are. But there's still no reason that these players, if Dean Smith keeps us up and he gets given the job, that these players don't go, you know what? Well, it wasn't here. It was the manager. I'm happy to stay if this is what I'm getting. If I'm going to get regular football under this guy, he's got the job. Why wouldn't someone like Soyuncu want to then maybe commit? Unless the long-lived rumours of Atletico Madrid do happen, which I would completely understand. But there's nothing to say certain players wouldn't. I don't know about anybody else that we can speak of, because that's living in a dream world, obviously. But
I just wonder why, if Atletico Madrid was going to happen, it hasn't happened already, because he could sign I was going to say pre-nuptial, but he can sign a
well, yeah, I know, but you don't know. Maybe something that's been said by the manager and the staff and whatever. Maybe Shakespeare being there, putting an arm around him or something's made him go, I don't want to disrespect the club. I want to get myself in the shop window, if nothing else.
Yeah.
So
Mike says there that Cags tells, John Terry tells that Cags can command the back. I mean, he was no nonsense today. I'm sure I must have said Soyuncu instead of Faze and got them mixed up quite a few times. Thank God Suter was in between that we didn't have hairnet battles. He had that run, I think it was in the first half. Very, very Maguire-esque, and it's something that I think we've missed. He got that ball and he ran with it, and basically he was halfway into their half, and he nearly passed it on to Christensen, who took it to the byline and got the crossing. That's what we missed.
Yeah, we did. We kind of had it a little bit in Wout phase, but playing at a 2, you need that luxury, and the 3 at the back really did work well today because Sutar was, I know 3-0 kind of okay, it wasn't that brilliant, but the goals are just they're all avoidable in a weird way. But in terms of what we saw from them, it was good today. It was really good because Sutar was at anchor. I think he takes that role from Evans. Because he can spread a ball. We know he's got a killer pass in him. So, you're not so, when Sutar gets the ball. When someone like Evans is in that middle of the 3, because of his age and he's not got the pace anymore, people are a bit like, it's going to go, but with Sutar, he's got a bit of pace behind him. So you've got that support that can still move the ball forward. And Kaggs and FaZe thrived off it.
He did. Yeah, I'll send you the link, Neil. I've just had my post-match message through from Alan, who has sent me his man of the match. Now, I'm not going to leave it until we get to Monday. We will do a player ratings on Monday anyway, but I'm not going to do the keep everybody in suspense because it's going to go up on the website later anyway. But guess who he has gone for?
Ian Acho.
No.
Alan, no. Kaggs.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he was he was there.
A redemption performance. Fair play to him.
Yeah.
I think someone said that in the comments.
Yeah. I have sent it to your Beyond the 90 link, Neil. I never know which one to send it to. That was the first one I came to. I don't know about this, but I've just said to Alan, I've just replied to his comment. I've gone, I feel a hell of a lot more confident now. Because 3-0 down, that the Bell End would have put on a load of defensive players and gone, let's not get any wider than that. At 3-0, 20 minutes gone, God, is it going to be 10? No, it's only going to be 3. And we got 1, so our goal difference isn't the worst in the world.
No, it's not. And again, you have to take every single positive, no matter how bizarre it may seem. And people might, I know, I'm sure any neutrals watching this will go, oh, look at these like clutching straws after a 3-1 defeat. But we're in a position where you have to take every positive and draw from much from it as possible. And, a redemption performance from Kaggs, a second half where we didn't concede. I don't think we've seen that. And God knows how long it feels like. We haven't conceded in 45 minutes of football. So, yeah, Man City was a free swing. And in the end, we kind of saw a performance. We were kind of hoping for over 90 minutes, but it wasn't to be, obviously. But we saw a performance that was what we actually wanted to take in this free swing.
Yeah.
Lose the game and show us something different.
Yeah. Neil, welcome along, mate. Thanks for joining us from Beyond the 90. We are staying up. I mean, all right, let's calm down a little bit. But after 20 minutes, you thought, is that 9-0 record going? But then we actually put a fight up. We got a manager that's prowling his technical area, barking instructions out, and actually looked like he knew what he was talking about. There was no clapping. I didn't have to get my seal bars out. We could have, I think we should have had a penalty, possibly 2. We hit the post. Pratt had a shot. There was substitutions at half time. He's in I've got to say, give him the job. Give him the job full time.
Yeah, I really enjoy. I think that it shows you how much. Again, if only this was made 2-3 months ago, at a bare minimum, if this was made at that time, then we could be again speaking very differently. The fact that we've come in and he's playing like this, what it is, he's got that fire in the belly going. Oh, and I've gone as well. There we go.
Sorry, I don't know. I was just playing around. Then it was like I was playing Tetris. I got bored. I thought I'll have a game of Tetris here. Sorry, Nick. Carry on.
No, it's all good. I think what it is you could tell that the fire is in the belly of the team, And like, for example, if that's Brendan Rodgers, we lose that game 6-0 comfortably. There's no comeback. There's no one goal. The players all feel sorry for themselves. They drop their heads. They don't want to play. And that comeback doesn't happen. Yes, we still lost the game. And points do matter at this point in time. We all knew this was going to be a baptism of fire for Dean Smith. But what he showed me and what the team showed me is they still care. And that's more than what we've seen for 85% of this season. So bring on the next 3 games. They're crucial that we have to get them, because I was looking at the table recently. It looks like the Crystal Palace are safe. Looks like Wolves are safe. I think Bournemouth might be safe as well. We are coming into a point now where the team is becoming smaller. However, Nottingham Forest is there. Everton, I've not watched the game. They lost today's game, but I think, what's it called? I think he came out today and said everything went wrong. I want to see if I can find that about Everton. So Sean Dyche. And the thing is, we still have them teams. They are in our control. We can do this. And I've got faith for the first time in what feels like a long time. Remember when Chris, I was coming on going, I want this guy out. We are not going anywhere. Somehow we got 8th. I've got belief. And it feels so strange because I can't remember the last time we had belief.
100%. I was talking with Brad before you came in. Tielemans back to his forward attacking role rather than defensive. But yeah, not the best of games, but it was, in fairness, his first game back after injury. For me, the biggest plus on that, and I'm afraid it really does show Brendan up, and I think Brad agreed with me, and that was Soyuncu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Who was that to? Was that to Neil?
It was, you carry on, Brad. Sorry. First, I'm going to ask the same question to Neil.
No, I just wanted to say, you always got the feeling that he was going to give him half an hour. Again, from what he told us in his press conference, he was very open. He goes, yeah, he can play, he's available. He's just not had too much time on the field. So you give him the impetus. Look, that 20 minutes was horrible for all of us, the players included, but it's the spirit and determination to not drop their heads, keep going and get going. And well, we did things well in that first half, and there wasn't much, granted. We know that. We're clutching at straws a bit in the first half in terms of positive, but he did get on the ball. He did look to create something in a half where Man City just took control. And yeah, Soyuncu again, you could sing his plaudits all night, couldn't we? The 3 of us, I think.
I think so. Neil, he had at one point a marauding run forward down the left, deep into City's half, passed it forward to Christensen, Cross came in. That's what we've missed, isn't it?
It's happy to see the basics. Just the basics, just that they care. I'm trying not to swear, but it's one of those things where it's like, try not to give a S. They actually give an S. Do you know what I mean? Because that's what it felt like. They cared. And for too long, we felt like that. And the players do have to bear some responsibility. I'm not saying the full thing, but the manager obviously didn't help. But in that case, Soyuncu looked like a new player. Looks like a brand new signing, like he signed in. You know how Christensen and Suter came in January? Looks like a new signing. And if we could keep this in the team, if Barnes is injured for the rest of the season, I think we stick with this 3-5-2. For me, the only... out of the 3 of them, Suter, I think, played well. Fast was the only one where I was like, come on, man, you're a potential walking red here. You've got to be more careful than this. And part of it was because of how good Man City were. Yeah. But in that back 3, I think if they can keep everybody fit for the remainder of the season, and John Terry has more time to work with that back 3, I'm feeling really confident.
Yeah. Brad, he's got to go 2 up front, hasn't he now? Or at least he's got to start Iheanacho, and Vardy has got to go back to that sub-role.
Yeah, I think, like I said, if I was going to be really picky at the starting lineup, I was a bit enamoured with Vardy. I get it for the way he wanted to start the first half. We could all see that the idea was to soak up the pressure, get them a little bit jittery, because we clearly saw what happened when they felt a bit jittery and under the collar. Didn't happen that way. That's football. It's Man City. It happens, sort of thing. But he has to look at that second half and go, that's it. It has to be that. You have to play that style. You have to play that way. I don't mind the one up front because Nacho was still just as effective in that. the one corner we have worked with that sort of formation. And then if we get comfortable in a game, you don't necessarily have to have the two up front, but the option's there if we're still trying to keep the impetus and maybe we've got like a 1-0 lead and we want to put the game to bed sort of thing. The option's there. So, yeah, it has to be Nacho. I'm sorry, Vardy, but you have to be on the bench, son. He has to from that performance.
Oh, yeah, for me as well. And Neil sort of nodding his head there. I mean, that first 20 minutes, it was like, oh my God, hiding behind the sofa time. They came at us. I mean, I think they showed us a lot of respect by picking the best team that they could, even though they got that Champions League. And I know they're 3-0 up or whatever it is, but, they've still got to play that Champions League and they want that so desperately. It's obvious. But fair play to Pep for playing, the big players. And even the players that he brought on, let's be honest with you, they'd walk into our team. If I'm being hypercritical here, because I thought Ndidi and KDH, they were better later on, but they were horrendous in that first half for me.
Yeah, I'm with you, but what the advantage is that I just want to come back to something that Brad said. I think I would have started Vardy. I think I would have played it out basically how Dean Smith did because of the relationship that Shakespeare has with Vardy and going, look, we need a bounce, get on the pitch. The fact that it didn't work and Vardy had more touch of the ball, we subbed him at halftime, putting in Iheanacho, shows you he's progressive. He goes, right, it's not working. It's okay, Vardy. We'll come back to you. Let's change this up a little bit. And as you were mentioning, Ndidi looks a shadow of his former player. And I think he might be one we'll move on in the summer. I think he'll need to move on for his own career as well. However, he made the changes. He changed it up. He made sure to take off he took off and Ndidi later on, but he put on Mendy, put Ndidi further higher on, took off KDH and put Pratt on. Again, attacking subs, considering we're losing the game 3-0. He's trying. And the fact is, he could have gone, right, okay, everything's going wrong. Let's bring on Samore. Let's bring on Mendy and play 3 in midfield and sit and just try and soak up the pressure. And I'm not expecting him, and it could have backfired because if we went and they conceded number 6, number 7, number 8, everybody would be screaming at Dean Smith going, what the hell are you doing? Why aren't you playing more defensive? We're losing 3-0. It did help that that's the case, but it's a manager that understands the squad. With him being here less than a week, understands the squad, what we're about. Okay, let's make some changes. And he understands the utilizing the breadth and the depth of the squad as well. So he's utilizing players like Pratt, who I think came on. He should have done more with that shot. But again, I'm being high picky. He was getting the right space. Castagno was getting in the right space as well. So it gives me a lot of confidence that the manager understands, made the 5 subs, and all of them did their little bit of difference. Another one was Thomas. I think I was thinking, Thomas, what are you doing? Why are you bringing him on? I think he had a decent game. Genuinely didn't think he had a decent game when he came on.
Yeah.
I mean, Brad, I think I may have asked you this, and if so, I'll pass it over to Neil. But when we all said at the start this was probably a free hit, and if we're going to play Manchester City, let it be the first game, and let's get it out of our system. Yes, we've got Newcastle coming up, but look at them today; they got absolutely walloped by Villa. So we know Liverpool. It depends which Liverpool turn up. So. Those are the 2 games that you might have looked at. I thought, a bit worried about those. So let's get the Man City game out of the way. Free hit. We need to sort of see how you get on with the players you pick, the formations, etc., etc. He will hopefully. Do you think he will be there? Then, well, that didn't work. Okay, we tried that. Yeah, that was all right. We could probably come back to that. That didn't work at all. Hopefully, that's what he'll be doing with that performance.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone in the job of management of a football club will tell you they break the game down into segments. It's usually done into quarters. They'll break down the first 20 minutes, 22 minutes. They'll break down the second 22 minutes, and then they'll do the same with that second half. And that's what he'll focus on, because you can't account for the first half in terms of the first half of the first half because it was just a whitewash.
Yeah.
Because it is what it is. But you take every little analytic view you can, you break it down, and that's what he'll relay tomorrow. Or, not tomorrow, they'll have it off, but Monday morning, that's the first thing they'll look at. what they did right against what they did wrong, and how we're going to fix what we did right, and how we're going to continue doing what we did right. And that's what I'm already getting the encourageable feeling that we're going to do. And I don't think we've done it all season, to be honest with you. I think all we've had from them players have been shown is what they did wrong and how to correct it, not what they did right in games. Because there was some bright lights in them games we've discussed before, and I don't think Brendan ever used that as an incentive to them players, whereas I think Dean Smith will.
Neil, Barnes, as Gray said there, and KDH, it felt like they'd almost come to a standstill under Brendan. That yes, he'd got them to a certain point, and then that was it. They just weren't improving. Do you think that these guys can maybe take them that step further?
I mean, it does help with the change in formation. If we're playing 3 at the back, it means that you don't play Barnes really, unless you're playing Barnes as a second striker. I'd rather play somebody else. When you play to a 4-2-3-1, I think in general we can motivate the team to play a decent brand of football. It's just been the formation, the manager, and I think Dean Smith can get Harvey Barnes firing. I genuinely do, and I think he's the kind of player we rely on to, if we need something, to really go for the game, and I think we can do that. I'm just liking the way that he's setting up. And one thing to mention as well, the crowd, even when everything was bad, the team was still behind the crowd. Even against Bournemouth, I didn't manage to watch the match, I was away, but I was hearing there was people were turning on the fans. It was getting angry. The fans were turning on the players because of the lack of performance, because of the lack of confidence. Even in the first half, there was ironic cheers of "We've won the ball, we've won the ball." There was a little bit of fun. There was a little bit of right. We're still behind the team. We still want the team to do well. There's just belief all round, and for me, that is going to be not just that. You can't just have that and that's it. That with the squad and now the backroom staff we have and the manager in charge, I think will be enough to keep us in the Premier League. So it's just there's that little glimpse of hope that I think I can see the horizon, but we've left it way too late. But this needs to be a massive learning lesson for Top, the board, and the rest of them, because this can't happen again.
Gray, if you do live anywhere near where Gray lives, then it is safe to go to the pub tonight, because had we won, of course, he did make the promise that he was going to go and do the full Monte down.
Can we not loophole it and say we won the second half?
You take it up with Gray. I think that I don't know where he lives. I'm not going to give it out live on air, but I think his neighbours will be quite happy if we don't.
Probably.
Just looking here on the BBC, and we'll do our ratings and everything on the news show on Monday night. But you go onto the BBC site and you vote for the players. Iheanacho got our top vote, 6.38. They had Maddison second. Now, I'm sorry, I don't know. It's all about opinions, but Mendy, the third best Leicester player on the pitch, Neil? Surely not.
Tough one. I'm trying to think who else. I'd say that Soyuncu and Suter were better.
Yeah.
But when Mendy played for the minutes he did, I think he did well. But I think Soyuncu and Suter are above him.
Yeah.
I think you got to remember as well, the BBC's voted on an instant, and your passion goes to Iheanacho because he got the goal. He looked good. He could have grabbed 2. I even said he could have grabbed a hat trick in terms of the chances he had. And it's mad to say that, but I think we vote with our hearts on that. I think we'd still argue that Soyuncu should be definitely 1, if not 2.
Yes. Interestingly, indeed, he got the least votes, and Vardy got the second least votes. Blue Fox is asking Neil, when is your next stream?
Oh, that's a good question. It might be, I'm trying to figure out with a Wolves fan, it might be Wednesday night doing a preview.
There we go. Guys, I think that's it. Do we feel more confident?
Yeah, take that second half performance into the rest of the season. I'm very confident. all of a sudden.
And Neil, are you more confident?
I mean, it was hard to be not confident when the confidence was through the floor. But now I've got the fire in the belly back. That
Yeah.
I've got the passion, to make content again, because I'm not going to lie, it's been horrible this season to try and say the same thing again and again. It feels like ramming your head into a wall or watching paint dry. It's like, what am I doing with my life? And then after that, I feel like, I've got that fire, not just to create content, but I think there's just a lift. And people look at it on paper, and I've been watching a lot of individuals, because obviously there's a lot of like who's going down this season, and Leicester have been in the majority of teams to go down, which I'm fine with, because I'd rather them write us off now than going, you're too good to go down. Because I'd rather them saying, right, we're in a sticky situation, rather than, no, Leicester are too good to go down now. So roll on the next few games. It's not going to be easy. It might literally come down to goal difference, but I still think we're still stay in the Premier League.
Yeah. Let me just go through a couple of things and then I'll round it up. The new full post-match show is going to be Monday nights at 9:00. We're going to do this after every watch-along, but then we're going to go, because we've all got a life and it's Saturday night and I'm sure we've all got things to do. I'm sure Brad's on the promise. I'm not sure what that promise is, but who knows? So 9:00 on Monday for the proper full post-match, and we will be joined by Steve Lynex. And that's another opportunity for us to wind him up about how bad he is at predicting the results. And if you missed it, it is still on the Leicester Till I Die YouTube, LTID TV. The conversation one-to-one with ex-City player Jim Melrose. And his accent wasn't as bad as Steve said. I could at least understand him. And lovely guy, bit of banter with him. Do check it out. It is on, like I say, LTID TV, Jim Melrose. And coming up, and now this is what I want to say to you two guys. Am I putting you down for this? The big fat football quiz is going to come up after probably the end of the season. But with a little change, it's a big fat Leicester quiz. We're just going to concentrate on Leicester fans this time. And I'm just going to say there's going to be...
Me and Brad know all about quizzes, don't we, mate?
Can me and Neil be a team? Can we work as a pair?
Yeah.
Look, let me just say...
We're holding up the relegation zone. Let's just say that. And I'm not just talking about Leicester here.
Yeah.
There's only going to be 13 questions. You're going to get 2 questions on the current squad, whatever that may be at the time. 2 questions on City in Europe. 2 questions on transfers. 2 questions on the managers, 2 on the club history, and 2 on the championship winning season. You will then have 1 question from any season that you want. So you can pick the season, and we will be asked 1 question about the game. And that will be the big, but it's going to be just Leicester. So bugger off all the other clubs. Love having you on, but we're going to just do it Leicester now. I'm sure I can put you 2 down. Are you nodding, both of you?
Yeah, go on then. You're twisting my arm.
I won't be completely humiliated like that, because again, it's nice being at the bottom with somebody else. Just because I know Brad. Well, the thing is, it's about that on knowledge. When we've been, what it is, Chris. You see, it's funny when we've been part of the live stream before, and these people have got like 300 IQ about Udinese in 1982, and I've gone. I didn't what? I have no idea, and they know stuff. It's been incredible, and I've come out of things going. Got 1 point out of 18, but
I know some of the quizzes, to be honest with you, have been very hard. Now, I took those headings because I did buy the top trumps from the club shop, and I was looking at the sort of headings that they had used, so I'd got my idea off that. Gray's in as well, so I'll put you down for that, Gray. We'll have you on. And I forgot to mention, of course, there is an offside section as well, Brad, just for Brad.
Adebayor.
Great, you got a point already, mate. We'll start you with a point. But guys, thank you so very much for coming on. Let's do this. Let me go out.
Okay.
And that was Chris from Leicester Till I Die TV. There we go. It's the post match. He's kept me in.
Happening on the show? I've no idea what's happening. I'm welcome to Beyond the 90 now, apparently. Chris, help.
Did you not hear me then?
No, you
No, I
just
think
went
it comes
completely
out.
off screen.
Well, it was
You
showing
just-
me
you
my
just went-
mic wasn't muted, so I thought I could still say. I would say tell people, and I was concerned that you were disappearing under the graphics. That's why I went. So I was going to say tell
Did you hear that,
people
Brad?
where they can find you.
Oh, okay. So you can find me again at Beyond the 90. Again, thank you for having me, Chris. I believe we're staying up now. You can find me. We've just done a post match on that. We'll be back with a couple of hopefully post match during the press conference and for the Wolves game as well. We'll do a post match for that. So Beyond the 90 LCFC or Beyond the 90 on YouTube, you'll be able to find us there. Otherwise, sometimes I'm on this channel. You'll get used to my face sometimes as well.
You'll never get used to that face. Mate, thanks very much for popping on. I've got you down for the quiz. You can't get out of it now. It's live. We've got it on.
When is it? When is it?
Oh, it'll be after the end of the season, mate.
Oh, well, that's fine. I thought it was like this week or something. I was like, okay, I need to.
No. We've got other fish to fry before the end of the season, I think.
Yeah.
But anyway, all the best, mate. Thanks for popping on.
Brilliant. Thanks, guys. See you later.
Bye. Brad, now let me put you. Where can people find you?
They can find me usually here, to be perfectly honest with you. You can find me on Facebook if you really want to be boring. You can find me on Twitter where I ramble stuff about Leicester. My Twitter handle is at fulltime focus. I forgot it there for a second. Ever the professional. And if you want to go and help support me on YouTube, my YouTube channel is at Top 10 Battles. And yeah, that's where you'll find me.
Right, I am just blocking Tong Poo Moe on my
Twitter. Okay.
You know, so you get these message requests, and I thought it was Hong Kong Fooey, but that was a kid.
Hong Kong Fooey.
Wasn't it? Hong Kong Fooey. Yes, and I will. You're going to be back with us next week on Monday.
Yes,
you're going to be almost full time with us. Monday, you're going to be here with the post match, and it's going to be good because we're going to be joined by Steve Lynex, so it'll be interesting to get his thoughts on the game. Wednesday for the debate, and then Friday for the predictions, which is going very well for somebody this week. 6.7 points so far.
Yeah, I don't think I'm first anymore either at the moment. I'm not sure. I don't know if that Man City result sort of saved me a little bit because they won, but yes.
Yes. So now you've got not many. Okay,
not a lot.
I'll see you on Monday, and I will give you an update. I'll send you a message to know what the scores are on the update. So,
I'm sure you will, mate.
All the best, mate. Take care.
Cheers. Take care.
Thanks for coming on. Thanks to Brad there. I'm not going to let him know if I'm beating him in the prediction league. Thanks to everybody. Look, thank you to everybody that's been in the chat. Gray, it's been great. I've got you down for the quiz as well, Gray, so you can't get out of it now. It's either you've got to do the quiz or you've got to go to your pub naked and do the full Monte, whichever you prefer. Like I say, we'll be back on Monday because we will be having the post-match now, like I've said, at 9 o'clock on Mondays. Just gives us the Saturday night off, to be honest with you, which I think is fair. And everybody's travelling home from the game, if it's an away game, on the buses and having the tea if it's at the King Power. So we're going to move it to Monday night. He's off to the pub, Gray. Number one super guy, yes, that's him. King Kong Fooey. No, Hong Kong Fooey. That was it. King Kong. What am I saying? Hong Kong Fooey. Off to the pub. Enjoy, mate. Keep your privates not on parade. Okay. But no, thanks very much. So thanks to everybody. Thanks to everybody that's watched. We've been live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. And of course, we've got the podcast. Favourite podcast platform, you will find LTID TV. You'll find us under Leicester Till I Die on that. Got to say, hands up to this guy. What a hero. Made all the difference when he came on. If he's not starting against Wolves, then there's something wrong with the world. Don't forget to subscribe if you've been new. Smash the likes, even if you're not new. And don't forget to... the thought, if you wanted to, that for just £1.99 of your good English money, you can subscribe and become a member. It's free to subscribe, just $1.99 to be a member. Thank you so very, very much, whether you've been watching, listening, joining in or whatever. I really do appreciate all your support. I will always wear it. This has been LTID TV. I've been Chris, and this is Marilyn. Good night.
These videos are so dreamy. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to click the notification bell.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network. TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.